I didn't know you were going to do it too. Nice.
What's going on? It's your boy.
Appropriate dress code.
I see that. I know that. There you go. Wait, hold on. Let me blow it up now. Let me get that. Yeah. Oh, shit. Game of Death. Let's go. I love that shirt. You got to let me know where you got that. But what is going down? It's your boy, Preston, Fat Samurai Guy, hanging out with me in the movie Dojo, son. That's right. Artist, writer, illustrator, creator. That's right. Kraig Rasmussen. Did I say it right? Close enough? Yep. Tell me how to correctly pronounce the last name.
Rasmussen.
Ah, okay. Rasmussen. I was close. Welcome to the show, man. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Great to have you
here. Thank you. Appreciate the invite, man. Ran into you at Comic-Con and I begged you, pleaded. Bring me into the dojo.
I need to get on the movie Dojo. But yeah, that was there you go. Bam. It was a blast running into you at Comic-Con back in the day. Look at that good-looking guy on the right-hand side. I don't know who that big schmuck is on the left there, but but yeah, it was cool meeting you. Yeah, you had an awesome booth.
You look badass in that picture. Look at that. You look like a beast.
I was a lot
coming in hot. Hey, man.
But yeah, your booth was pretty awesome, and it was cool meeting you at San Diego Comic-Con and all that. And we're both huge fans of not just comics and movies, which we're going to get to a little bit later in the stream, but of martial arts as well. And how long have you been taking martial arts, my friend?
My dad started me when I was 9 to deal with my temper, and I kind of bounced around between schools for a little while. I did Taekwondo first, then I had a great Kempo teacher for a while. I was actually kind of like a world-renowned head of the system guy. Nice. Hachi Bruce Jutnik, I'm not sure how he pronounces it anymore. I was 9. Anyway, then bounced around through corporate schools and kickboxing and a little bit of, strip mall kung fu, stuff like that. And then in my 20s, I reinvigorated my interest quite a bit, and I couldn't nail down where to study, but I had a lot of background already in my training, so I already had gathered some sparring partners, and I had a friend who was a personal trainer, and he knew how much I had an interest and a background. So he said, "Hey, I know a guy who's really good at this style called Wing Chun. Have you ever heard about it?" And I said, "I think I've heard about it before. Isn't that a really, short style of Kung Fu? And it's pretty devastating from what I can see." So, long story short, this guy taught me Wing Chun for free over the course of a summer or something. It was right before I left for art school in San Francisco. So I really didn't invest the time and attention into it that I wanted to until I put on a bunch of weight after art school, and being a freelance artist, kind of led me to a really sedentary lifestyle. And then I kind of, reinvested again into the training. And at that point, that's when I really got into the training side and drills and really getting into the technique. And also before I left Sacramento, I learned a 30-step form of Tai Chi. So I've been doing that almost consistently every day since then, 25-ish years, something like that. I kind of think I still suck at it, but I'm trying. Tai Chi's hard, man. Tai Chi, that hard and soft, is so tough to master. But it's amazing for footwork and things like that. But loving Wing Chun.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You dipping your toe in it, and you're still doing it. You're still training. That's all that matters.
Yeah. And what's interesting, man, since we're on the topic right now, I'm reading too.
Ooh, let me blow that up.
Stuff like this. You watch those kung fu movies, and they're basically, you see somebody get a manual, and they're like, you can't learn martial arts. So that's not what this is exactly. This is actually philosophy and technique broken down after you go through the manual and the training. This is pristine because I listened to it on Audible a bunch of times, so I just wanted to have a physical copy that I could look through as well. But yeah, I mean, God, it's almost been 10 years since I really got back into it, and it's had a major influence on my life. Awesome. I mean, to the point that I got myself into health trouble and then got myself out of health trouble because I just didn't know how to do the nutrition side of athletics, and wasn't hydrating properly for living in Arizona. That's another story, different podcast. We're here to talk about movies and such. So
and comics. Well, let me blow up the background here a little bit, and look at that wonderful background. I mean, that is amazing artwork there. Look at that. And I see some Conan. I see Conan in the back. We're gonna get into some Conan a little bit later there. But Vampirella there. Is that your personal collection, or did you draw that one?
No. These are that's a Frazetta Creepy poster and a San Julian Vampirella I got those like at a WonderCon in San Francisco when I was probably a teenager. I can't remember. And it was one of those things that were just buried in a closet. I thought they were gone forever. And then I found them when I moved into this house. And that was hallelujah kind of thing. So it was perfect to christen this new studio. I chose the master bedroom when I moved into this condo that I live in. So it was a big room to fill up with a whole bunch of nerd shit. Oh,
well, it's fun. You got to fill up your house with some nerd shit, or at least have a nerd geek room. You got to nerd out. It's important.
Yeah, this is this is the most developed. This is the most developed room in my house. I always make fun of myself for it. It's like you know, if I can't feel at home in here and nestle in, then I can't do it anywhere in the house.
Yeah, copy that. So, now we got all the way from Dallas, Texas, Oscar chiming in saying hello. Well, hello, Oscar. Good to see you. All the way
Oscar,
from
thanks for joining.
The UK here. There we go. We're starting the ruckus. The entertainment. Wow. Shout out to Kevin. Yeah, he says amazing artist. There we go. Nice. Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Speaking of comics, this might look familiar to you. What?
Nice.
Rise of the Kung Fu Dragon Master. Yeah, man. How was it being a part of that project?
It's fun. I've known Chris for a long time. I honestly was a fan of his podcast, Comedy Film Nerds, a long time ago. We have, shared DNA in our relationships, actually, Master Rick, Sifu Rick, I should say, and that whole crowd as well. And then Chris did, Chris Mancini is who we're talking about, White Cat Entertainment. He did the Los Angeles Podcast Festival with his co-host, Graham Elwood. And I went to a couple of those in a row, which was a fantastic experience. It is unfortunately dead and defunct and will never come back because putting on an event is hard. But it was, I met so many amazing people. I made a lot of relationships that last to this day, including Chris. And one of the funny things was at the time for him, comics were a pie in the sky thing. And even for me, honestly, I was still kind of like dicking around with podcasts and, I hate to say it, more of a hobbyist making comics. I only had a couple of things and nothing was really complete, just a handful of pages here and there, a couple of mini comics. And right about the same time, we both, stepped away from podcasting as a serious venture and realized that comics were where it's at because there's not that podcasting is bad, but you really have to devote yourself to it. And if you have any other second or third love, you're screwed because those things are going to absolutely die on the vine while you're doing podcasting. So anyway, we both jumped into comics similar timing. And, right around the time the second Rise of the Kung Fu Dragon Master was coming up, I pushed him. I was like, let me do a pinup, man. You don't have to pay me. So I got to do crazy pinup that has about 100 ninjas on it.
I've seen that. It was awesome.
I think I sent you the black and white. And because I was never happy with the color. And I also got to color Jeff Johnson's awesome piece of two Chinese gods fighting for that as well. So it was really fun. Chris is great. I actually, since we're on the topic, just did the Los Angeles Times Festival of Books for the second year in a row with Chris as my booth mate. We got absolutely deluged and drenched. It was exhausting.
But you're always getting booked for, congratulations, getting booked at all these conventions and festivals, man. It's awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Some of it is definitely self-generated, but they do allow us in, and I suppose our work is opening some doors in that matter.
So what got you into art, man, and comics and drawing, and when did you get the calling, man?
Probably like adolescent nerd divergence was really, helpful with the calling. I've told this story on dozens of podcasts, but I had a friend when I moved to a new house, right around junior high, who had like 14 long boxers or something ridiculous. And I had never seen such a thing. I'd only seen spinner racks with Donald Duck and the occasional superhero comic or whatever. Blew my mind. It was like Jim Lee's X-Men, and the Image Revolution was not far behind. And it was just right at the right time. Because that 80s era, honestly, I've been really digging into that. The stuff that was coming out in the 80s is insane. And so I was able to kind of catch on, right? It's like 91, 92, maybe, when I really got into it. So there's still stuff around, like the Stan Lee Mobius Silver Surfer, just kind of sitting on a shelf. Wasn't that expensive yet, So I was really able to get a whole cross section. I really got into Grindel. I don't know if you can see my Grindel shelf. How do I do this? Up there, in the corner. It's a
blow it
long time favorite. There you go, in the top corner there.
Nice.
There's quite a few you can't really see. There's the Randy Bowen statues up there, but indie comics and superhero comics is my point. At the same time, it was the perfect nexus. And then, the self-publishing revolution was right there as well. So the seeds were all planted before high school, and then, being a little, wired a little differently and not fitting in the educational boxes in high school, drawing was an amazing escape,
Right.
And it was a pretty safe bet from there. I was pretty serious by the time I was 13 to do this for a living. So,
right. Are you still freelance right now?
I am still freelance. At this point, I feel like I prefer self-publishing, and I feel like my audience prefers me self-publishing, although I'm really grateful for everything that's come from the Boris Karloff book that I did for Gold Key that's right here over my shoulder. And the First Americans that I did coming up for Critical Entertainment. Really had a great time with that cover because history and early settlers and ancient civilizations and stuff are kind of a pet subject of mine. So I was stoked to be a part of that book.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit here. Hold on one second. We got Critical Entertainment showing up saying, "What's up, guys? Yo, Kraig.
What's up, Chris or Mason? Maybe not sure who that would be. Yeah, one of the two.
Shout out to Critical there. Let's talk about the Boris Karloff project here. And you did this artwork, right?
Yes, I did.
Oh my God. Look at this artwork, guys. This is insane. This is beautiful, man. Yes.
A hollow foil variant version of it. I can take it out. This is my personal copy. I can touch it and take it out.
Look at that. What a beauty. Oh, man.
It's pretty fun.
So tell us about that project.
Mike Dines, who is one of the owners, saw me at a convention and yelled Wallywood at me at Phoenix Fan Fusion from like 30 feet away. And, most appropriate thing anybody's ever yelled at me, maybe? I don't know. Ironically, Wallywood wasn't even a massive influence at the time, but the kind of retro era of sci-fi illustrators was definitely my flavor. And, Al Williamson, who was, collaborator even with Wallywood, I believe, in the EC days, was a huge influence already then. So I just fell into that crowd because they were looking for kind of a retro flavor to their books. And long story short, I learned to draw Boris. I actually cranked out this composition ahead of them asking for it and maybe foisted it on them a little bit, but it ended up getting me paid. It ended up getting me the story. Trenchfoot, that's the guy, that is the main guy from Trenchfoot.
Trenchfoot.
Yeah, Trenchfoot.
All right.
Trenchfoot is a disease that you get from being in a muddy, disgusting trench full of,
And that's the name of the character right there.
No, that's the name of the story. So, but also, they had.
That would have been an interesting original name for a comic book character. Oh shit, it's Trenchfoot.
Probably, you're right. No, probably, and I wouldn't be shocked if it's some random, Z level DC character already, and we find out that Ron Mars created it in the '70s or something.
But congratulations on being a part of the project, man. Artwork.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful. And it's just like is this straight up horror comic? Or what?
Yeah, it's horror, retro, sci-fi. Okay. They really wanted the pulp flavor to it, so I tried to come up with something that fit in my mind. If Boris, there's a framing story in all of the issues of that where Boris is sort of the presenter, but also involved in a story. So it's sort of a hybrid of that Crypt Keeper, element, but instead of giving him an actual involvement, which I think they did eventually with Crypt Keeper as well. But anyway, I wanted to find a story that had that kind of Twilight Zone or EC flavor. So I've settled on something where, the Germans, World War I Germans, come up with a gas that isn't just mustard gas, but it's a gas that transforms people into monsters, and they're supposed to kill each other, but there's a reason that they don't. And then the Germans, basically created their own worst enemies.
Wow, that's wild.
So anyway, it was really fun to do that. I had a
right up my alley right there.
Yeah, I had a blast making a self-contained project because I've been doing so much self-publishing stuff that's an expansive canvas that is 20 different projects. And so
right, yeah.
4 pages that I could just knock out. I was like, hallelujah, bye-bye. Yeah. That was fun.
That's awesome. It says, Critical says it's Chris here. It says Chris here.
I figured. I don't know why Mason would be here. Mason hates me.
Oh, Mason, how can you hate this man?
Mason's great. Anyway.
Oh, but yeah, I got some other panels here of your amazing art here, and you could just let us know what it's about. Look at this. Is this the Un-Americans?
No, this is Zen Patriot.
Zen Patriot. Look at that.
Yeah.
Tell us
So
about this project.
we might as well get into odds and ends because
Sure.
that's so that image there is from the second page or so in a new chapter of Zen Patriot, which was originally featured in my odds and ends personal anthology of lost works that I put out in 2017 for San Diego. So in this, I riffed on Surfing USA to do Surfing CIA lyrics about a disillusioned government agent who's riding what appears to be a magical surfboard that can take him anywhere, and he ends up somewhere in Central or South America. It's undisclosed, but basically he's clearly going on to some kind of mission slash adventure.
Right. All right.
Yeah, so this led to, I wish I had one of these shirts clean to wear right now, but it led to my first t-shirt, which I made out of this panel right here, where he's got the Vans on the surfboard. So I always wanted to do something with that, and now we're in very politically fraught times, so it seemed like a good time to bring that out of the mothballs. And it also coincides with Odds and Ends revamped 200-page anthology, which is double the length of this, that I crowdfunded on Zoop about 2 years ago. And I've been slowly, there we are.
Look at that.
You got me.
Nice.
You caught me.
Am I good or what? I'm good.
You're amazing. The guy knows his job. He knows the assignment. So that, what you see there is actually not even accurate anymore, because what we're going to do is print it all as one book, because once it became as much as it became,
nice,
it just made more sense. And there's an arc to the book a little bit where it kind of starts out with like what I call my promising early pages or whatever. So it'll be a section of like 5 to 10 pages from different projects that are kind of walled off. And then from there, all the complete stories start. So there's, which, and to be fair, I will say now, not all of them are 100% complete. There are some cliffhangers or whatever, so don't hate me. But they are basically complete stories. There's fully realized worlds unto themselves. There's about 21 to 22 stories. Zen Patriot is one. So in this case, what I would do, there's my Rise of the Kung Fu Dragon Master pinup.
Oh, look at that, guys. That is insane. That looks so good. I mean, how long did it take you to do this piece? This is insane.
It was 2 weeks from concept to completion, including the color, I think. So I'm not really sure how long the drawing part took. I just remember that the hardest part was trying to squeeze in more and more ninjas without like mashing the composition and losing the whole thing.
You got to squeeze in more ninjas now. The more ninjas,
always.
the better.
Everything's better with more ninjas. I've said it before and I'll say it again.
That should be a t-shirt.
Yeah, 100%. That's the next episode I'm on. That'll be my shirt.
Let's go.
Yeah, there'll just be a ninja just peeking out. And of course, the gifts I send the most are the crappy '80s ninja gifts where they're throwing smoke bombs and doing flips on the beach like in a dumb ninja training sequence.
It's so much fun. Yeah, it's ridiculously fun.
100%.
Yeah, this is amazing though. But yeah, back to Odds and Ends here. Look at that shot.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
amazing.
you very much.
Wow.
This shot is the impetus for the new chapter. And it turned out that I actually have written an entire origin chapter for this character. So it explains the surfboard. Because I'm a sci-fi guy and I just couldn't let it be a magical surfboard. I had to figure out some explanation. So it actually ties to a crashed UFO. That's a real UFO crash in Wales that happened in the 70s, I think, like 73. So right now, what's going to be in the Odds and Ends, compendium, expanded edition, whatever you want to call it, will be
omnibus.
I guess it's an omnibus. I don't know, because it's not an omnibus in this. It's an omnibus for sure in the sense of that's what it always was. But this new edition, I'm not sure what it is. It's turned into a mutant of what it originally was supposed to be. It's insane. It's 240 pages from a 200-page pitch, and it's expanded to have 2 full-length stories in it.
Okay.
And then I had to actually restrain myself for Zen Patriot because I couldn't put a 3rd full-length story there. I wouldn't even put it out this year if I did that. So trying to have it done by Comic-Con.
When is this whole compendium version coming out?
Hopefully Comic-Con. I mean, the next couple of days, I'm going to colorists that I've been talking to and just throw it in their laps. And like they'll all choose stories and just hopefully go to town in the next couple of weeks. So by the end of May, I should have a couple of full color sections or a lot of it done.
So you're going to have another booth again at San Diego Comic-Con this year?
I'm going to keep that booth. Small press P13, I think, is my booth number. I'm going to keep that forever if I can. I'm right across from Fan Base Press, so we have a nice little aisle of comrades going on, and there's a good little vibe happening of small press personalities and
hopefully
libraries of work.
Yeah, well, hopefully I can run into you again. Hopefully I can run into you again.
You better come by. I'm stuck in my no, I'm not actually. My great friend Dylan, who was pictured in that shot, he helped me run my booth last year, and he killed it on sales because my ego could be fully removed from the process. So I would just walk around, talk to editors, and actually enjoy the convention a little bit. And I'd come back and be like, I really killed it. And I got made fun of because people thought I was overselling the work. And then only to realize he's like, this isn't my work. I just love that, so buy it. And they would be like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. So I realized that, having a shill is the best thing to do so that I can go have fun. So next time when I see you, we're just going to go around the con.
Let's go
together.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, see our friends.
I don't know how many conventions you've been at. What was some of the coolest people you ran into?
Oh, man. Well, best fist bump, James Hong, David Lopan from Big Trouble in China.
That's awesome.
Shut
up, Mr. Burton.
Exactly. That guy's great, man. He's in freaking talk about the GOAT. That guy's in fucking
dude.
It's
insane.
Nuts. Even stuff where it's just like 5 lines or something, and you're just like, how did they get him to just? It's just the community, the Asian acting community is really tight. So usually it's like, well, we're all going over here to do this, or who knows what crew it was, Jeff Imada or the the Yuan brothers or whatever. Like they all know each other. Not to say they all know each other. Sorry, that sounded questionable from a white guy. I know, but my point is in the community in Hollywood, like they have to know each other. They're forced to know each other to get each other's backs. The way things have gone. So
2 girls with green eyes. I'm going to quote the whole Big Trouble in Little China movie.
My favorite movie poster in the other room is the Big Trouble poster by Drew Struzan. So
yeah, I have like autograph from James Liu and so many of the cast and
James Liu.
I have to find a place one day to have like a Big Trouble in Little China shrine because I have like I'm pretty sure I'll probably still have the VHS and then the DVD and then the Blu-ray and then the with their autographs and the action figures and the Funko Pops. I have to create a shrine.
Goals. Get that Carpenter, man. Gotta get
goals.
Carpenter.
Oh, I know.
Maybe at Comic-Con. His wife is there.
Oh, okay.
Year, so he's been there a couple times at her booth.
Nice. But I see that you ran into the Hammer. What?
Oh, I forgot to mention that one. Sorry, we ran
into the Hammer. How was it running into the Hammer, man?
Oh man, I had the flu at that. It was Palm Springs Comic-Con, so I had the flu, and I was just in the shits. Not. Oh, sorry, that's the worst thing to say when you have the flu. It was just, it knocked me out, and it was like 118 degrees and super humid, so I was absolutely just like a zombie. I don't know. I've never been more out of it at a convention. In that picture,
you look good, right? You look fine.
I probably had a fever.
I got to man up because Fred Williamson is next to me right now.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I probably had a fever, and I'm like exposing this 70-some-odd-year-old man to my freaking flu is ridiculous. I was like, I'm not gonna breathe on you. I'm gonna hold my breath for the next 50
It's all right. It's the Hammer. You can't hurt the Hammer.
No, you can't hurt the Hammer. Please, Hammer, don't hurt him. So anyway, I ended up actually doing podcasts with him at his house, which was really fun.
Epic.
Like, a little bit from that, So I sat next to him and his wife the whole weekend at Pump. They were great because it was a dead convention in a hotel ballroom. It was just one of those things where you're just like,
have you been to Dragon Fest down in LA?
No, not yet. It's on the list.
Okay. It's
wait, Dragon Fest.
Dragon Fest. I think it will. It's usually right after San Diego Comic-Con. It's a couple of weeks after, and it's on a Saturday.
It's in LA.
And last year, hold on, let me bring it up because I've been twice. Let's see. And last time, last year, I really wanted to go, but here I'll bring it up and you can take a look at it. But unfortunately, I couldn't go last year, and everybody was there, dude. Like everyone was there. Tons of martial arts legends.
I remember this. Yes, I do remember this.
Here, I'll bring it up.
Yeah,
so you can see.
I do remember this. I've had FOMO from that a few times already, especially the last couple of years. I got to meet Ron Yuan not too long ago, as well as Master Ken. A couple of great martial arts community guys.
Glendale Civic Auditorium is where the I believe There we go. Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah,
Glendale.
yeah.
But yeah,
once
dude,
it,
ridiculous
it is.
last year.
Once you start meeting them, once you start meeting those guys, you want to meet all of them, and you've met a ton of them, and I'm so jealous.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still behind on beating everybody, but yeah, man, that'd be cool if we can meet up at Dragon Fest this year. I would love. I really wanted to go last year, but I
think I can make that happen. I'm a little more open for events. I actually tried to clear the decks a little bit to get this project done.
Yeah.
So I'm only doing a few events here and there.
Creating worlds. That's right.
That's what I do.
Now I really want a character called Trenchfoot to be made.
Maybe that's how I get around the rights issue of not owning that story.
Everybody watching right now, all you comic book enthusiasts out there, please let us know in the comments if there was ever a comic book character created called Trenchfoot. Let us know. That would be hilarious, man. If there
certainly
one actually exists.
Yeah, that'd be good. It's weird. Man. He transforms into a monster. It looks a lot like this guy. Anyway,
yeah,
please.
It's pretty cool, man. You meeting everyone. I mean, especially Lopan himself. But let's talk about some more. Oh, go ahead.
My bad, dude. Don't do well with the lag.
It's okay.
The one I couldn't talk to at the same convention, Keith David. Keith David
really
wanted. He just had his sunglasses on inside and kind of had that "please do not" vibe. So I did not, because I respect him a lot. Speaking of guys who are in everything, and he's amazing in everything he's in. So,
but that's where I ran into Fred. I ran into Fred at Dragon Fest a couple years ago.
Oh, cool!
And he was the coolest. Just chill, bro. He was just there.
He's
eating. Good. He's just there chilling.
He told me when we were at his house. He opened up the garage door, showed me the heavy bag, and then he said, "I hit it every day. I kick it every day." I'm like, "You still throwing those kicks?" Because I watched this. I forget which movie it was. It wasn't Hell Up in Harlem. It was something around that era, though. But he just threw this. He threw this kick. He kicked Carl Weathers in the chest, and he kicked Carl Weathers in the chest. And he was wearing like big leather 70s boots.
Yeah.
And it was a great roundhouse kick. I was like, wow, this guy's. That was when I realized, like, this guy's had some training. He keeps training, so he's bragging about it on our podcast. It was really fun. So I'm not surprised that he was at Dragon Fest at all.
Yeah. He'd probably be there this year. We'll probably see him this year. You never know.
I've been wondering. Yeah.
But yeah, Keith David was at a horror convention I went to a couple years ago, but the line was nuts, and I was like, oh, I would have loved to autograph, but I kind of ran out of money, because when you go to conventions just for autographs, that you can probably only get like 3 or 4, and then you're done for the day. That's it. Because they kind of charge a little pricey sometimes.
And you stand in line all day. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like Tucson Comic-Con, I wanted to talk to Michael Biehn, but I couldn't get near him because he just had for every movie he's been in.
Speaking of podcasts, he has a fun podcast right now.
Does
Michael
he?
Biehn. Yeah.
That's good to know.
What was the name of it?
Now I'm gonna have to touch the phone. I'm not gonna touch the phone.
It was like a quote from. It's a quote from either Aliens or Tombstone, but that's like the name of his podcast. It's like one of the lines.
I'm Johnny Ringo. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I forgot the name of it. Oh, I forgot the name of it. But let's keep going with some of your artwork here, man. Let us know about these couple of shots I'm going to put up on screen here.
Yeah. Really grateful to the art director from New Times, who came to. I don't know what the event was. I did an event at Retro Exchange in the fall, and pretty immediately booked this job after meeting Eric, the art director from New Times. It was just it was super short deadline. It was intense. I had to hire a color flatter to hit the deadline. I had to, like, as soon as I got the artwork to like 80% inked, I handed it to the color flatter while I finished the last 20%. So that by the time I got the ink completely done, I scanned it, so it was basically the same size, more or less.
Yeah.
But it was the only way I could hit the deadline. It was a really fun project, though. I'm really proud of the result.
Wow. And I really respect you artists out there, all you illustrators and creators, because I tried for a while. I actually did try to draw. Yeah. And I bought this book on how to draw, and because my wife draws, she's actually pretty good. She always says she sucks, but she's actually pretty good. But I was just like studying this manual of how to draw, and it was just how to draw a head and a face. That's it. It starts simple. And it was just so like hard for me to do. And I just don't have the patience I just don't have the patience. I was just like, I can't do this. I will leave this profession to Kraig. Guys like Kraig, let these guys do it. But I just like, if I have to put a model together, I don't have the patience. I'm very, only certain things I have patience for.
Same. It just happens to be drawing. Drawing and martial arts are like the two things that I have tons of patience for,
Yeah. But yeah, all the respect to all of you that do what you do. But this one, tell us about this one. This is cool.
That was just a random piece.
Nice.
I just did that for myself, and then I think I used it to train myself to color digitally for a while. I recolored it like 3 times.
Nice.
But it's also a top seller now that I did the purple and pink edition. Like, people just seem to really respond. So I sell that print all the time, and try to have a framed edition at my table every time, so I can also sell it with the frame. Is that shrewd to say that out loud? Probably, but whatever.
No.
That's a business tip for you kids out there. Offer a frame. There's cheap pop-out frames that you can get out there.
Yeah. Well, this is cool, man. It definitely pops.
So,
yeah, speaking of popping. Oh, we got Nate Dogs in the house. It says, yo, finally made it to a Fat Samurai Guy live stream interview. Well, thanks for chiming in, Nate. Yeah, man, thanks for chiming in. Yeah. Let's see, we got some more images here. Boom. Let's talk about this one. The Dead Remember.
This is my first time talking about this in public.
Ooh, exclusive. We're getting exclusive right now.
Yeah. So before the pandemic, I did all of the design for this film project and built a website. And then right after Comic-Con, a little bit after that, even after Tucson, I think, when I was absolutely exhausted and like, I got to finish my anthology and I got this cover deadline for Critical. I had a couple of major deadlines that I was trying to clear the decks to just focus on.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Just knocking stuff over in my office.
You have so much passion and energy. Yeah. Shit gets knocked over.
Of course. You should see when I'm at my table, when I have like comics set up and I'm starting talking with my hands, I'm like slapping comics towards people.
I do the same thing, man. I slap my mic all the time. But
ridiculous.
Let us know what's going on here.
Yeah. So basically, like as soon as I had cleared the decks for a bunch of other projects, this client came back to me this last fall and said, we got to redo everything. We're rewriting the family and the story. We want to do like the actual poster. We want a hand-drawn poster like olden days, prior to the computer. And so I just had to go to work, essentially just revamping everything. So everything I had done, some of it was my choice because it just, had already been several years that had passed, nearly a decade. It's weird. By the time I got everything done and the new website put up about 2 months ago now, almost 10 years had passed since I'd originally done it. So I had to redo a lot of stuff, and I had to pare it down. Anything that was old that I was keeping, I had to really pare it down to just the best of the old stuff, and even rework some of that stuff in Procreate and make the colors better.
You said this is a horror film. You said it's a film project.
It's a horror film. It is produced and story written by, not screenplay written by, but story written by a guy named Rene Mousseau, who's a pretty well-respected stunt coordinator and stuntman in Hollywood. I mean, I catch him in stuff all the time. Like I watched that stupid TV adaptation of Shooter, the Mark Wahlberg show, but it's got Ryan Philippe. And Ryan Philippe is like half this dude's size, and he kills him really easily. And I know this guy personally, so it's really funny. I'm sure, as you know, when you watch anything martial arts related and you know the people involved, it's really funny because you see this teeny tiny actor guy like throw your friend around, and you're like, no. But it was really funny to see the guy I'm working for, like kind of while I was working for him on that show. But so that's where it's coming from, is he wants to migrate into producing his own content, as everybody should and does right now. So he hired me in 2017 to do it, and then rehired me recently to do it. So now I'm going to do the storyboards coming up soon. We're just trying to find the budget. Cool. There's some cast members who are actually interested, some people of name in the horror community. So it's a horror film about skinwalkers of the Native American lore, Navajo specifically.
Let's go.
So that's a Navajo headdress. Yes, I am aware that the symbols are upside down. That's the point. It's supposed to be demonic. I'm aware that there's some sacrilege, but the cool thing is, I will say, for any of the woke mob out there that might come from me because I'm doing Native American stuff, all the Navajos that I've showed this to are completely freaked out by it, but also took a copy immediately and were like snickering in the corner, like, the boldness that we are doing something with this thing that freaks them out culturally is really cool. So
that means you nailed it. That
It's
means you
untapped
nailed
horror.
it.
Yeah, it's cool. So, you
Yeah.
know, like I just have kind of stuck with this project because I like where it could go. We're talking very seriously about a couple different comic book adaptations, like a prequel comic about because it's 3 skinwalkers that are siblings. I think it's 2 sisters and a brother, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So we wanted to do maybe a prequel comic of them and how they got that way 100+ years ago, and then also the present day maybe comic book adaptation. So it's a pretty big project, and we'll see what happens once the money comes in. You know, it's all about waiting for the budget.
Congrats
Thanks,
on
man.
that. And you know, you got to keep me posted now. You got to keep Samurai Guy posted because you know
Samurai
I
Guy will
love
know.
my horror movies. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
You'll be among the first.
Yeah, for sure. And if I knew we were that big of a horror movie fan, I would have added another top 10 list of. So
How dare you? How dare you?
We're doing action, martial arts, and sci-fi a little
Yeah.
bit later. But we'll have to have you come on back and we'll do horror for sure.
I would have disappointed you, actually. I'm not the biggest horror fan. I'm more of a sci-fi
that's it.
horror guy.
You're gone. That's it. Yeah, you know, nice having you on the show. I appreciate it. Well, all right. That was great having Kraig here. He'll never return. And no, I'm just kidding. It's all good, man. It's fine. It's all good. I'm just excited. You said horror.
Listen,
I'm like,
listen. I will defend myself by saying I did put Night of the Comet on there, which is kind of a horror movie.
Yes,
but also,
we're gonna get to that. Yeah,
it's about well made, and I do have favorites. Obviously, I just don't I don't like crap horror. That's all. I'm just sensitive.
We don't like
quality.
crap movies.
I don't believe you do, my friend. But it wasn't an accusation at all. I just you know, it's out there in the horror genre. You know, it's out there in the martial arts genre. There's a bunch of garbage. It's unwatchable.
Every genre. I just watched one the other day, and I can't talk about it yet. I'm sitting here just like,
curious. I'm very curious.
I can't mention it yet. So,
well,
but let's continue with the awesome artwork here, man.
Thank you.
Look at this. We got the before and after. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let us know about this one. What's this project?
So this is the cover for The First Americans. It's a variant cover. This is currently up for solicitation through Lunar and Diamond, but obviously we all know that maybe you should just go through Lunar so that you definitely get paid right now. Sorry, Diamond. It's the truth. So that's up for solicitation through July, something like early July, I think. And it will be on the stands in September or early October. I think it's late September. Do I have any info at my fingertips? No. I'm not going to touch the thing with the screen, so it's not happening. But Chris Reda from Critical Entertainment, who is or was watching the stream before, he graciously brought me in to do the variant, like I said, because ancient history and ancient cultures are a big pet, love of mine. And
nice.
Same for him, obviously. He's got not just this, but another story as well from Critical that appears to reflect that interest and dive into that territory. So it was really cool because I got to, use I have a bunch of safari toys, which I use for reference. So I was able to get a few of those and play like a little sloth and just really dive into the anatomy of saber-toothed skulls and, this beautiful tribe that he's created for his story and this crazy antelope that looks like an alien creature. So it was fun. I mean, as soon as he told me what he wanted, I was like, sold. It's
beautiful.
He just wanted that lush Canadian wilderness that they, come out on from the Bering Strait. And
cool stuff.
Really fun.
And this one, look at this one.
So, and here's the blue version.
Kraig is always prepared. What's this project?
This is my super psychedelic time travel martial arts story. As I say,
let's go.
Time travel, evil twins, martial arts, and amnesia. What more does a time travel story need?
Dude,
I believe that's really what's written on the inside cover.
That's awesome. Now I want a movie now of this.
Let's see. Hello, Hollywood.
Yeah.
I would like to see that down the road. I think that could be really fun because there's a way to, I don't know. I feel like it's a very different time travel story. Since we're on the territory of martial arts and such, basically this guy, Cotton Hickox, it's not his real name, by the way. He discovers that he can time travel through astral projection. Like he becomes a very deep devotee of meditation and suddenly realizes that he can touch the astral plane, the vaunted, legendary, mythological astral plane that nobody may or may not believe exists. We'll see.
Yeah.
But he realizes that he can pull his body through his third eye and take himself to any time he wants. And other things can happen too. And that's how evil twins arrive. And admittedly, it's a multiverse thing, which kind of sucks because I came up with the idea a long time before the multiverse fad that we're in right now. So I'm downplaying it in favor of the evil twin, Michael Knight's evil twin with the mustache, or evil Captain Kirk from the Mirror Universe. Like, I just want to play that, like evil Spock with the goatee. I just want to stick to that side of it and occasionally throw in a curveball, like a giant version of himself. Gotcha. I want to play with some stuff. Visually, but I don't want to get caught in the MCU trappings that we're all kind of tired of right now. So one of the ways I'm doing that is just through the fights where he fights himself. This is actually from Odds and Ends. It's also from the issue, but it'll be a backup story. And I just finished this. So Odds and Ends backers, if there are any of you watching right now, by the way, I put this together and I can make it possible for you to have one in addition to your Odds and Ends that you'll receive this summer, because this is a 22-page preview of Odds and Ends. It has those Zen Patriot pages in it. It has this 3-page fight scene in it with Cotton Hickox and himself, and then another one of himself commenting on it after the fact. And also has this 8-page space story that's a prologue to my Space Monkey comic, Sojourners.
Cool.
So everything kind of ties together.
Yeah.
And the reason that that's not his name is because he has amnesia. The first time he takes his body through his mind to travel back in time, just scrambles his brains.
Oh,
and so he comes out just amnesiac, nauseous, just, even emaciated. Like, it just literally drains him. But he can still function as a person. He just doesn't, like, his identity escapes him. And there's a reason for that too. It's revealed down the trail.
This sounds awesome, man. This sounds pretty dope. Yeah, for sure. I've come across some other fun art pieces I'd like to show that I come across here. What? Gargoyles? Oh. Look at that beauty.
Thank you.
I keep hearing rumors of they want to do a live action movie of Gargoyles now, or it's just, I don't know if it's just fans wanting it to happen, fans of the show want it to happen, but
Disney's mining everything.
It'll happen. Yeah. But this is awesome.
I feel like I heard it's maybe in development at least.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked.
Already, when I click on this, the theme song's in my head. Theme song's already in there.
Nice.
And we got this one right here. Oh shit. King Spawn. Look at that beauty. The skull's popping out. Is that the skull? Is that part of the chair?
No, they're just kind of the chair itself is made of bone. It was in my mind, at least. And so there's like bone spikes coming out, and the skull's, the cerebellum hole in the skull is where the spike is going in on all the skulls. So
sick, man.
It's fun.
I would have bought this from you if we met back in the day.
I still have it.
Shit!
It hasn't sold yet.
Oh
yeah, I don't know. Right. Neither of those have moved. I'm surprised because people seem to like them a lot. Maybe I'm overcharging or something. But
hey, make sure look at this one: Damien versus Batman. Let's go.
Yeah. That little shit.
These are exclusive Comic-Con or conventions booth selling art pieces.
No, I mean they're just sketch covers. They're just store-bought sketch covers. I just I live in Phoenix, and for those who haven't seen the scene here, or if your local scene is not like this, the sketch cover fad is nuts here. Like, I don't know if it's as hot as it was, but variants and sketch covers are heavily supported by stores in the Phoenix area. Nice. And there's a lot of very serious collectors here. Like, I'm from California. I'm from San Francisco and LA, where like people couldn't be bothered like to be interested in your art, half the time. So maybe more in San Francisco, but still getting them to buy your stuff is really difficult. But in this case, it seems like it's heading the right direction.
Well, I'm showing this bad boy right now. So everybody watching, all you Spawn fans, definitely click on all the links below of this man right here and check out his stuff. That's right. It's the Rasmussen universe.
The Rasmussen universe. That's right.
It's all the cool stuff. So just click on the links below. Yeah. All right. Now let's go ahead and talk about some movies and have some fun over here. I was like, hey, give me a list of your top 10 action, martial arts, and sci-fi movies. Now, there's no particular order for this top 10. We're just going to go down the list here and have some fun. And my friend, I think we're brothers. I think we're brothers because I'm like, this guy's got good taste.
Nice.
But what really surprised me is you had some picks on here that I was like, dude, more people need to talk about this fucking movie.
That might be why I put them on there.
Yeah, because I'm like, dude, no, I feel like this movie doesn't really get a lot of love. These movies, so we're gonna show them right now. I'm gonna bring them up here. We do a little screen share action.
Did you do all 12 of my 10?
All 12 of your 10?
Did you notice that all of the lists were at least 11, if not 12?
It's fine. The best, the best there. It's fine. I was just grabbing stuff, man, so it's fine. But yeah, let's start with the first one here, and this is one of my absolute favorites of all time, The Prodigal Son. This, if I had to make a list right now, like Samurai Guy, go. Top 10 Kung Fu movies of all time, go. This would be maybe my top 5.
It's maybe number 1. I'm not sure. It's a great movie. It's not just a great Kung Fu. I mean, it is got some of the best fights I've ever seen in a movie, but it is a great movie too. The story is amazing. And like many Wing Chun movies, based on a real guy, based on the lineage. Pretty interesting to see how it plays with it. Maybe it's accurate, maybe it's not. Nobody knows, but it's a fascinating movie and amazing performances across the board. And also, let's just get into Sammo Hung because he's going to come up again. Like the guy. Speaking of the goat,
dude.
So, have you seen the Kung Fu Stuntman documentary that's on?
Oh yeah, we actually showed it at San Diego Comic-Con a couple years ago.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah,
naturally.
Why
did I even ask such a stupid question?
We showed a clip from it. Yeah.
I cried at that freaking documentary. The thing's amazing. Like it really gets into the guts of what these guys were actually doing, putting themselves beyond in harm's way, and also putting it all on the screen to a degree that just doesn't happen. And I feel like, once I watched that, I realized, oh my God, Sammo Hung is so intricately woven into so many of the greatest Kung Fu movies, even if he's not on screen. It's crazy how much he was involved in. And it just, for years I've been saying, Sammo Hung's the guy. There's a reason he got an American TV show. There's a reason. You know what I'm saying? So, not that I've ever seen an episode because it's impossible to find.
Yeah. But it's funny because I just, somebody shared it on Instagram, a clip from Martial Law where he fought Mark Dacascos. And it was a great back and forth fight, and the way the fight was filmed was actually pretty good for television around that for the 90s. I was actually impressed.
Yeah,
I was impressed. And
the era of the Vanishing Sun movies, where that's just about the best we got.
Oh my God! You took me back right there.
The way back machine.
Holy shit! It was Russell Wong, right? Was that Russell Wong?
Yeah, of Romeo Must Die fame.
There you go. Great stuff, Craig. Keep it up. Critical Son.
Thanks, Chris. Much appreciated.
Yeah, but I'm already hearing the music in Prodigal Son. Like, this movie is like a big, warm hug to me.
Yeah,
it's just a big, warm hug, and it's a great redemption story. And just so good. And everybody watching right now, all these movies we're putting up on the screen here. Definitely comment, and I'll put it on the screen. Let us know your thoughts of these films. But yeah, absolute classic. But let's keep it rocking and rolling here. Hold on.
By the way, that's on YouTube right now, I think, for free. Prodigal Son.
Oh shit! All right,
that's where I watched it. I was shocked. Nice. I couldn't rent it. This is the only place I could find it.
Yeah, nice. All right, let's go to your next pick here. The Raid movies. Dude, these are like ridiculously overrated.
Come on.
They're overrated, bro. I mean,
You're
come
kidding,
on.
Right?
Mile 22 is better than both of them.
Mile 22 buries Eco Ice. He's gone in that movie. I'm like, what the fuck? You edit all the martial arts down to being invisible, basically, and then the guy's he's got like 10 minutes of screen time tops.
And there's fans. I'm not shitting on the fans. If you guys like what you like, enjoy what you like. But I'm just kind of surprised that there's fans for Mile 22, and they really loved it. That was a kick-ass action movie, and I was just like, my buddy of mine, I didn't even bother watching the movie because a buddy of mine shared me the previous fight that Eco put together for Mile 22, and then he shared me the actual fight scene of how it looks in the movie, and I was like, no, I'm done.
Is it the hospital room fight?
Yes, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was like,
Drives
this
me
is
fucking off the wall.
horrible.
You know who really shined in that movie though is
Hmm.
whatever her name is that plays Maggie on
Was
Walking Dead. She's the best part of that movie.
oh
Anyway,
yeah
yeah,
yeah yeah the raid. These are just classics, man. And I was very fortunate to be one of the few to actually get a chance to see both of these in theater over here. Our theater,
nice.
it wasn't that many people in the theater when it came out because nobody knew what the raid was.
Mm-mm.
But me and my wife went to go see both of these movies, and we were blown away, man. We were absolutely blown away by these films, and it changed the game. It really, I mean, Hollywood's still talking about remaking. How many years has gone by, and we're still hearing about Hollywood trying to remake the raid. Just like stop.
At
Just
least
don't
Gareth
do it.
Evans is moving on. I mean, Gangs of London is incredible. Havoc is pretty fun. It's brutal. Havoc was brutal. Did you watch that yet?
Yeah, it was pretty brutal, man.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Brutality.
Yeah.
But as much as we had fun with Havoc, the raid films are another level.
Yeah, I mean the density. Yeah, Chris just said it. The raid is mind blowing, and it is. Like the first one, the danger level is mind blowing. Like Eco is incredible, and the second one they just pit him against even more incredible fighters. You know, the kitchen karambit knife fight is pretty insane.
Yeah, but the second one is took on a whole new vibe. It was a straight up like gangster drama.
It's like a Godfather movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that. I don't want what we're gonna do, have Eco get stuck in another building?
No.
And then he's gonna fight his way up. I mean, he's gonna fight his way down. He's gonna stop at the top. He's gonna start at the top.
Exactly.
And he's gonna fight his way down to get out. I mean,
you can only do that once unless you do it in a Judge Dredd movie also.
Right. There you go. Yeah, I love Dredd. But we're gonna get to that a little bit later. But yeah, these movies are just bona fide bangers and classics, and we're still crossing our fingers for a Raid 3. So we'll see what happens. Most likely it's not going to happen at this point, but you never know. You never know. Next up.
I could see it.
You think so? Okay, I hope so. I hope so.
The career trajectory for both of those guys is in the right place for a third Raid. That's all I will say.
Right, yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Good point.
Flash London's over. Yeah. Okay. Now we're getting
Flashpoint, man. Yo, this movie right here. I mean, that is one of the greatest one-on-one fight scenes of all time,
dude. And the first kung fu movie to really bring in MMA and make it feel like bare bones, like some ground and pound, but with kung fu. It's incredible.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu, everything. Sprawling, like all kinds of stuff.
Just throwing each other around.
Yeah, you could cheat a little bit and say maybe Killzone or SPL through it a little bit first. But man, Shane Kasugi.
Shane Kasugi, what's up, dude? Speaking of amazing performers, dude.
Yeah,
just watched Shadow of a Tear not that long ago. That guy's so good, man.
Yeah, I just it was an honor having him on the show not too long ago.
Nice.
But
I wonder if he heard me mention his dad earlier.
Maybe.
Hope so, man.
That's a Facebook alert, which is weird that it's popping up because these photos I put on Facebook, because that's what you're seeing right now. So he just recently randomly liked something, so that was cool. But yeah, Flashpoint, man, him versus Colin, bro. Let's go. And it doesn't really. It's more of a. This actually has less action than SPL.
I know,
in my opinion, but
I like the action better.
Yeah, I mean it's like so good, and I think that fight was so brutal with Colin. I think Donnie broke a rib. Something happened to him. Yeah, something happened to him. But this was an interesting movie because I watched some of the behind the scenes, and Donnie was saying that how do you put MMA on in a movie fight and make it entertaining was like one of the hardest things he ever had to come up with, because he's like, if you're going to do that, you might as well just watch the UFC.
Yeah.
How do you put it in a movie and still make it entertaining? And he says that's where it was like such a challenge to mix it all up and still make it like, wow. So yeah, Flashpoint is great. And we're getting another Flashpoint, which is insane.
What? They're making another one?
There's another one coming.
I just want to say though, going back to what you're saying, that I think there's a little more, it's a little judo-y their MMA, they lean judo instead of jiu-jitsu, so they don't just lay on each other. They're throwing each other around a lot more, which is that's what I would do too if I was making a movie. I mean, that's why, Silat works so well, for instance, or all the crazy kung fu animal styles work so well because they're flashy and they're beautiful for movies.
Right.
But I have to say I really waffled because I just watched Kung Fu Killer last week as well, or 2 weeks ago.
Dude.
And that might be a slightly better martial arts movie, but the villain in that is very heightened with his like corrective shoe, and he's sort of like a comic book villain a little bit. And so for some reason it just knocked it down a peg. But this movie, it seems like it's obviously not a real world crime movie or whatever, but it has that super intense cop crime story. Like, I gotta get this. My nemesis is like, gotta go down. I'm gonna take him down. And they just obviously try to. Really
it's debatable. It's right. It's debatable which is the better movie. You could say Flashpoint is the overall better movie. Yeah. But I would agree with you in terms of Kung Fu Killer being a better martial arts film, because when I looked at there's more martial arts in it, but when I watched it, Kung Fu Killer or Kung Fu Jungle, it felt like a throwback classic kung fu movie in modern day time. That's how I looked at it. When you have the evil villain who has the poison dart technique that will, you know what I mean? That's what I kind of looked at it. Yeah, that's what I kind of looked at it. He was going around challenging everyone. And it kind of felt like it kind of had that old school vibe, but in modern day setting. So Kung Fu Killer is great, but Flashpoint is a classic as well.
It just hits harder.
Yeah. Next up, now this I was like, no way, bro.
Okay.
I was like,
so for this one, I have a special guest, so you're gonna have to bring me back to full screen for a second. Okay.
Let's go.
So here we go.
Special guest. What?
I just bought this.
Dude, where did you get a poster?
I just did a search for it. I think it was TeePublic, maybe. And it's they just had a linen print of it, so I have to trim it to fit into a frame pretty soon. I can't wait to put it on the wall.
That's epic.
So yeah, let's get into this movie.
Dude, this was one of the ones where I was like, no way. Somebody else likes this movie, because I have this on old school, I think Tai Sang DVD release.
Me too.
And
that's the only place you can get it, I think.
Yeah. I just, come on. There's got to be 88 Films, Eureka. Somebody remaster this on Blu-ray. This needs
Bay Logan, come to the rescue. Oh man.
Sorry. Yes. But yeah. The Buddhist Fist. This is classic Kung Fu. And I really do not see a lot of people that love martial arts or Kung Fu movies talk about the Buddhist Fist. It's usually it's usually like Iron Monkey and stuff like that, which I love Iron Monkey too, but I never hear anybody talk about the Buddhist Fist. So now we're gonna have to review it, Craig.
Why did you refer
future
to
video?
Yeah, seriously. Why
we should do?
Go ahead. Yeah.
We should do a fight reaction on my Scrapping with Samurai series. We should watch the end finale fight and then do a breakdown. There we go. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, say no more, man. Or
but yeah,
say less.
Come across the Buddhist Fist.
Oh God, it was in that era. So when I was 19, somebody had the widescreen VHS of Drunken Master 2, which opened the door for me to get away from Seagal and Van Damme and all those guys. Yeah. I mean, I'd seen Enter the Dragon, but I didn't understand it. It takes a long time. You know how it goes with that guy. Anyway, once you understand, you really understand Bruce Lee. Yeah. But the thing is, when you're a kid, there's no chance. But the Buddhist Fist is a great. I probably found it after Magnificent Butcher, which is maybe my first. Like Drunken Master 2 is amazing, obviously. Magnificent Butcher, though, was my first one where I was like, oh, this is that costume classic, because Drunken Master 2, excuse me, is a deviation. It becomes a Jackie Chan movie in a way that takes it away from the Shaw Brothers vibe or the Golden Harvest vibe. Yeah. But yeah, somehow I came across this. Just I can't remember how I was getting them back then, because I don't feel like I was renting them. I think I might have been trying to just buy whatever widescreen martial arts movie I could find on DVD, and then. At some point, I started going to Asian markets and finding DVDs that way. So I was getting all my Tai Seng stuff that way and all the Golden Harvest stuff that way. And then this was somehow in the mix. I can't remember how I first discovered it. That's a weird question to not be able to answer. All I remember is that it stood out to me, partially Yun Shun Yi and Choi Soo-ming, both the two lead actors, are freaking amazing perform. They're both so good. It's crazy to me that they didn't just continue to be superstars after this movie throughout the 80s, because they're faster, more agile, and interesting than almost anybody that I could think of.
I haven't seen the bald monk character right there on the front. Say his name again.
In Choi Soo-ming.
I don't know if I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
He's in like Bury Me High with Jet Li, and like he popped up in something I just saw recently, and I was like, holy shit, Sakura, the Jet Li movie, Sakura, Donnie Yen movie. Sakura.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's also in Kung Fu Jungle.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, yeah, he's one of the masters that gets killed. He's one of the first guys that gets killed in that.
Well, I'm fired.
He's in Twin Dragons. He's in a lot of stuff, and it's really weird.
You know what it is? It's what you just said. Should have been Star. That's what I'm thinking. I think like he should have been starring in a lot of martial arts.
And I think he may have been a monk. So you never know with those guys. You know, like those guys sometimes. So old I have a couple of VCDs from Tai Seng too. It's awesome.
Nice.
I have Body Weapon, the most embarrassing VCD to still own, which is like this pseudo sexy like piece of crap.
Was there a Hong Kong Legends release of that movie? Why do I have a feeling I have that movie somewhere?
You probably do. I wouldn't be shocked.
I might have that movie. But yeah, Buddhist Fist is great, guys. If you're down with classic Yuen Wu Ping, classic kung fu movies, definitely check out the Buddhist Fist.
And classically referred to as one of his weird ones, because it's got all the Taoist mysticism stuff in it that a lot of people hate, but don't let that stuff.
Well,
push you away from this movie.
If you compare it to the Miracle Fighters, this is a normal movie.
It's a normal, totally, absolutely, and it's a good follow up to like Dreadnought and things like that. Like it's
Miracle Fighters is insane, and I love that movie.
I tried recently and I couldn't.
Oh, you got to go
too much.
You got to do Miracle Fighters. You can do it, man.
I will.
Make it all the way
through. I've seen it before. I'm just saying I went back to it because it's on Prime right now, or on Hi-Ya maybe.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit, you're so good with the names. The Yuen Wu Ping brother that we got there.
Yun Shun Yi.
Yes.
Or Yun Shun Yi.
Is this his only movie where he was the star?
The only where he was star.
Well, he was like a good guy.
He's the villain in Legacy of Rage, I think, the Brandon Lee movie.
And Dreadnought, he's the bad guy.
In Dreadnought, he's the bad guy. He's awesome in Dreadnought. Awesome. Like, I cannot, again, how the fuck do these guys, I mean, who knows? Maybe the acting part, you never know. Like, I don't speak Chinese, so I can't judge the acting as well as I probably could if I did. So maybe that was what kept
I don't really remember him playing a lot of, like, the hero in movies. So this might be the only one. Because he played a good guy in Iron Monkey, but he wasn't like the star. He wasn't the star.
And he's like a Manchu in one of the Once Upon a Time in China movies, right?
Yeah, he's great. All these guys are awesome. But yeah, great pick, brother. I'm so glad to see somebody else besides me enjoy the Buddhist Fist. But yeah, check it out, guys, if you haven't seen it.
It's so fun.
Now we're talking. Fat Dragon. Well, hold on. Let's go from Enter the Dragon to Enter the Fat Dragon. So yeah, Enter the Dragon, classic. I had a blast seeing this when it was re-released in theater. I think was it last year? It might have been last year. It was re-released in theater, and it was so much fun seeing it. And
keep going.
Oh yeah, just a classic Bruce Lee movie. Definitely opened up the doors. It wasn't the first kung fu movie that was popular here in America. That might go to Five Fingers of Death, but in terms of opening the doors of popularity, Enter the Dragon was definitely of that movie. A buddy of mine. Oh shit! Hold on. Wow! Look at that beauty right there. Where'd you get that?
Same place I got this. A friend who used to work at Amoeba.
Nice.
Just kept an eye out for cool stuff.
Dope. Yeah, I got some Bruce Funko Pops back here. But
Yeah,
that's
I
cool,
gotta get
man.
that one too.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, Enter the Dragon, absolute classic. Definitely inspired so many. But believe it or not, it's not my favorite Bruce Lee movie.
Chinese Connection.
Yeah,
I knew it.
yeah.
As soon as I sent you the list, I was like, should I have gone with Chinese Connection?
No, it's your list. This is your
no,
list.
there's something, the mystique of this movie. I can't get away from it.
If anyone out there says Into the Dragon is the greatest martial arts movie or kung fu movie of all time, I'm not going to argue with that person. That's how good Into the Dragon is.
Yeah.
You know, it's not my personal favorite, but it deserves its flowers. You know what I mean? But
it does.
Believe it or not, a lot of Bruce Lee fan purists, they go with Way of the Dragon. That's their favorite.
I mean, that's amazing too. It's hard, that Chuck Norris fight. Freaking.
Yeah.
Wait. Is that right?
Yeah.
Norris. Okay. Mm-hmm. I get the American Chinese titles reversed sometimes because of the.
I know, right?
Fist of Fury was Chinese Connection when I was a kid or whatever.
But yeah, Into the Dragon's great, man. I mean, Jim Kelly, you got some John Saxon up in there. You got Bolo. Come on now.
It's a James Bond movie too. It's like it's got that whole, like I said, the mystique of it is amazing. Hans Island is incredible. Like, it's ridiculously 70s, and like Jim Kelly says it best, like, you're straight out of a comic book, you know?
Yeah.
Like the whole movie is, and maybe that's one of the reasons that I like it, you know, because it sits with the rest of the flavor in my life. Everything's straight out of a comic book. But you know, the fights are great, and Bruce is amazing. He's obviously at his physical peak. Although
you get the classic shot of him breaking Jackie Chan's neck.
Yeah, well, and the Sammo fight, dude, at the beginning, nobody talks about that fight, but it's a pretty good fight, especially for being chopped up by Robert Klaus. Yeah, you know, it's a little choppy, but I don't know. There's something about it that just, to me, had to be on the list.
Angela Mao. I mean, dude, it's just it's so good. It's just so good. It's definitely deserves to be on the list. But I was really surprised the Fat Dragon was on here, because this is one of my favorites. Into the Fat Dragon is one of my favorites. I have an old crusty, when we're talking super crust, bootleg DVD back in the day, and I think this is on Blu-ray somewhere, but it's like third party. It's hard to get, but obviously there's probably some things in the movie that people would find a little sensitive today, and that might be the reason why 88 Films and Eureka and no one's touching this movie on Blu-ray, which is a shame. It's a shame, but I mean, dude, I love Into the Fat Dragon. I love it.
I feel bad because it's been so long since I've seen it that now I don't know what you're referring to, and I feel like I should have maybe done my homework. But,
no. I get the reasons. I understand, but I still love the movie. I'm not gonna fucking. You know, I'm not going to fucking bitch out.
Let's not talk about it. Let's move on. No, we don't.
We'll talk about it offline.
Let's talk about why. We can talk about why I like this movie, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I mean, part of it is that, I mean, I guess going back to, you know, talking about Enter the Dragon first and why I put that on the list versus Way of the Dragon or Fist of Fury or Chinese Connection.
Yeah.
It's just got the fanboy element, I think. Like, that's what this movie's all about. Like, this, you're talking about a Bruce Lee super fan who's in visual terms, I guess, which is Sammo Hung's magic, he's the least expected Bruce Lee super fan and emulator, but he fucking kicks everybody's ass. And Sammo Hung is just incredible to watch as a performer in this era. Like, all the way through the 80s, the guy just, it's like, he's so magnetic, he's so funny, he's one of the best directors of kung fu movies that has ever directed kung fu movies. And the fights are just amazing. And Leung Ka-yan, like, that guy's great.
Beardy.
It's funny about Beardy.
Yeah.
You know that guy's not a martial artist? I just found that out recently.
Blew my mind, bro.
How? Because his hands are incredible.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
And he was just so good at copying what they would put in front of him. He could get it like that. I mean,
he looks like a Hungar master.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I mean, I wouldn't fuck with him now. I'm pretty sure he knows martial arts by now.
He's like Keanu Reeves, right?
Yeah.
Like, he started out talented and mimicked everything, but was a good student and then did it for years, and now you shouldn't fuck with him, right?
Yeah. So, you know who else also I heard didn't know any martial arts was Lo Lee.
Really? I buy that. I hate to say it, but I think you can tell.
Yeah. But still, He was in so many classic Shaw Brother fight scenes, though.
Totally.
Like he was like Mad Monkey Kung Fu and
Yeah,
Fist of the
that's
White
what I just
Lotus.
watched. I was like, what was the one I just watched? Where's the villain?
Dirty
Bad
Old
Monkey.
Bro. I mean, he was
Yeah.
spinning that staff behind his back and doing all. I'm like, dude, this guy
Yeah.
doesn't know any martial
Yeah.
arts. But he was one of those that learned on set, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Intense
love
guy too.
Foley.
You could see why he's a star.
But Enter the Fat Dragon is legitimately one of the funniest kung fu movies I've ever seen in my life, especially with one of the greatest scenes ever. With he's a Bruce Lee fanboy, and it's funny because you have all the Bruce exploitation actors, right? And a lot of people out there are like, yeah, they were great, but Samuel kind of imitated Bruce Lee better than those guys.
It's uncanny, right? There's moments where it's so on the money, or you're like, this is a great Bruce Lee impression, like a comedian would pull off, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
But that one scene where he beats up the Bruce Lee exploitation actor on set,
right?
I was laughing my ass off.
It's the Philippine like wannabe, right? He's got the dark glasses and he's kind of a dick.
He's like you are beneath his standards. You know, he's talking shit after you kick his ass.
Wait, doesn't he beat up a whole room
disgrace
full
my
of?
hero. You disgrace my hero. What?
Doesn't he beat up a whole room full of Bruce Lee clones or something at some point? I should have watched this without. I don't know. I feel bad putting it on the list because it's been 20 years since I've watched it. Probably.
Nah, it's fun, man. We're just having fun here. We're not doing deep dive reviews. Here we go. Jim Jam says Samo and Lau Carleon were the best. Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Victim, bro?
I don't know if I have seen that.
The Victim, bro. Put that on the list.
That's on high, I'll put it on the list.
Yes, The Victim needs a widescreen remaster Blu-ray. Stat.
Oops, that's not the right.
That needs to happen. I have the old martial arts theater DVD. We're talking old school DVDs. And it
Pan and scanned within an inch of its life.
Dude, not really remastered, full screen. But I still love it. I still loved it. But yeah, that needs.
Oh, wow. And Samo's in that. Samo directed it? Oh, wow. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. I might have seen this. I thought we were talking about a Lau Carleon movie.
No, Beardy. We're talking about Samo. The Victim popped up in my head. Beardy's kind of like the star in that. Samo's kind of.
This is the one where the wife gets fridged and it's like pretty dark, right?
Yeah,
like the wife
gets dark.
Yeah, it's dark. I was surprised how dark this movie is. I just watched it recently.
The finale fight though with Beardy and the other guy.
No, it's dude, and that guy's intense as fuck. It's crazy. Yeah. It's such a
So I can at least say
Kung Fu Stuntman, right?
What's that?
Wasn't he in the Kung Fu Stuntman?
I think so. So without really talking about it now, the only thing I could say about in terms of controversy, the only thing I could say is whatever Samo was accused of by other people, Robert Samuels, you know who that is, Bobby Samuels, was on my show and he disputed all of that.
Oh,
that's all I will say about this movie. He's like, all those people out there accusing Samo of being this, they're all full of shit. Because he took me in, I lived with him, I ate with his family, and he didn't do anything but love and mentor me and nurture me. So there you go. That's all I'll say. All right.
Well, and I can put a button on that perfectly, which is to say that the people who are around forever that work with everybody probably don't believe the hype. You know what I mean? When you hear prima donna shit or controversy, a lot of the times, if they're, they have a huge circle of people around them who respect them. And I mean, come on, you got to read the room a little bit.
Exactly. But yeah, great pick. This needs a Blu-ray stat. Dude. Now we're. This is shout out to Frank Jang. This is Frank Jang's favorite Sammo Hung movie. Yeah, this is he considers this his favorite. He considers this Sammo Hung's best action movie.
As far as performance or direction or what? I'm curious. Probably everything, right?
Probably everything, But it's so good, dude. So good. I
kind of still go with maybe Prodigal Son because it just hits my heartstrings a little bit. But like, this is
for sure.
He's out Ramboing Rambo.
And he's Sambo in this movie.
Booyah! I love that. No, it's just I don't know. Everybody's a very interesting character in this movie. Talk about a comic book movie. Oh my god! Like the characters are so interesting, and I wouldn't know. Like you could put it on an action list just as easily as a martial arts list because it's obviously like Vietnam, post-Vietnam action. Sure. But but like everybody has their own fighting style, which I love in it. So it automatically makes it, you know, the villain does Eagle Claw. So you're like, okay, I guess this is a kung fu movie when you get down to it, you know?
Yeah. Yuen Wah is a treasure.
You know, Toad. Unsung again. I mean, not unsung.
Treasure.
He's like the James Hong in a way over there. Like he pops up in a lot of stuff, but he doesn't do martial arts in a lot of stuff. And you forget how good he's such a good acrobat. It's nuts that he just kind of quit doing that stuff pretty early.
That was some bullshit. You know? They killed him off in Shang-Chi. That was some bullshit.
Wow, there's a lot of bullshit in that movie. That fucking third act gotta go.
Yeah, it went marvelly. But it's still a lot better than Snake Eyes, and that's another discussion for another day.
For sure.
Yeah. Eastern Condors is a classic. Action, stunts, and also, what a finale with fights, bro.
And it looks so good. It's a beautiful movie. Like a lot of day for night, but it has a really cool look to it.
Yeah, Yuen Bu versus Kurata, bro. Sammo versus Billy Chow. I mean, come on.
It's ridiculously good.
Oh yeah. I think it has a Criterion Collection release now.
I think that sounds about right. If there's any kung fu movie or like genre kung fu movie that's not a costume drama that should get a re-release, it's that.
This is how I know this man knows his shit. This is how I was like, yeah, Kraig knows. Kraig is hardcore, not just because he had the Buddhist fist on there, but Kraig knows his shit. I mean, in the Line of Duty 4, bro, man, there's a fight, I think, every 5 minutes.
Right? Yeah, they're so fun. This movie's really fun. It's like just good. Balls to the walls fights. I mean, Michael Williams and Donnie Yen. I love when they fight each other. That's his name, right? Michael Williams. Am I getting that right?
Michael Woods.
Michael Woods. That was close. Close. I knew I messed it up. It's the one I didn't look up. I'm getting all the Chinese ones right for some reason, but I can't nail the American guy.
I'm doing the opposite. I'm botching the Chinese one. But this is just again Yuen Bu Ping. You know, you guys noticing a theme on here. Yuen Bu Ping and Sammo and all
about the good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but this is great stunts.
We didn't mention Yuen Bu Ping and Yun Chung Yan and their performances as and it's Koryun, Yun Kwai. I think it's either all three of them are friends or two of them are best buddies, and then one of them is a third character. But they're hilarious in Eastern Condors as characters.
Yes.
So should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go back to this
one. This is a great. I mean, the rooftop fight. All the fights are so good, and they're so. I mean, there's a lot of mixed martial arts in this. This is actually pretty early, where all of a sudden there's some interesting grappling going on.
Yeah, and Cynthia Khan is great. Yeah. Great stunts and just ridiculously entertaining martial arts action movie. Yeah, and of course they got to save the best for last. Michael Woods versus Donnie. I think this might be their third fight because they fought in Tiger Cage.
Yeah,
and then Tiger Cage 2, and then the third one. I mean, this one here. This might be the third time they actually fought each other. And it's debatable out of all three which one's the best, because a lot of people love the Tiger Cage 2 fight, but they're all great. They're all great, and it was a huge honor. I never thought in a million years I would have Michael Woods on my show. I was like, what?
So cool.
So I was actually able to interview him. So Demetrius Angelo was with me, and of course Bobby Samuels and Radical Reggie was with me.
Can I ask, because I didn't listen to that episode, what's he been up to? Because he did a bunch of stuff in the late 80s, early 90s.
Well, he's just working.
I'm not sure I've seen him in anything. No, he just really stands out in these movies. And again, it's like you would expect a higher level of visibility.
Him and Donnie, it seems like him and Donnie are good friends, and then they have a falling out, and then they're good friends again, then they have a falling out. I think around the time Blade 2, Donnie M was brought in to do the fight choreography. They had a falling out around that time. So that's what, early 2000s? Mm-hmm. I think they're cool now. There's no issues now. But you're just working, man. Working, and you're not going to be in films forever. You're going to want to retire, and he's up there in age, true. And I'm sure he's still ripped and jacked. But he shows up. He shows up at a Urban Action Experience showcase out there at the convention out there. He goes to that, and people take pictures with him. But just having him on the show was like surreal, man. It was wild. And what the cool thing was, I interviewed him, and we had that episode on the podcast. And then after that, we came up with the idea of having Rick Myers interview him for Comic-Con.
Oh, good.
So his interview with Rick was shown on the big screen to the live audience after we showed his fight with Donnie and from Tiger Cage 2.
That's awesome. That is
awesome.
Yeah,
So it's kind of cool how that came about. But yeah, In the Line of Duty 4 is great. It's funny because at one point, me and my buddies, like 5 billion years ago, we were trying to make a movie just for us. We weren't going to make a movie and be like, hey, we're making this indie film and we're going to sell it and it's going to be awesome. No, we were just having fun, just making it for us. And me and I was the main villain, but me and my buddy who took martial arts studied the Donnie and Michael Woods fight, and we would rehearse it, the combinations and all that stuff, man. We would rehearse it he would do storyboards for the different camera angles from the movie and stuff like that. But unfortunately, we never got a chance to put that, on film. That I would only show family members and not you guys. Actually, that would be hilarious to show now. Actually, it'd be kind of funny.
See below for YouTube link. No.
But yeah, it's an awesome movie. Great pick.
I saw your hands there. So what style before we get? I'm sorry, I cut you off. I feel so bad.
What's up?
I saw your hands there. I saw your rotation. I saw your boxing hands there. I was curious, what style did you study, or do you study?
I am not in your league at all. I only took martial arts for a few years, but I took Shorinji Zendo Ryu Karate.
Nice.
I took that for a year, and while there, they had like once in a while they would have jujitsu classes and they would have Muay Thai classes, and I took a little bit of that, and I am not an expert, but a buddy of mine, my dad would box. And so he showed me how to box, hit the heavy bag. But a buddy of mine who actually who I worked with, he actually competed in Muay Thai competitions. I would go train with him a little bit. So that's it. That's it. Very little martial arts, man.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always want to know.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to know at least the technique's okay. I mean, Kraig would know.
You look good. You look good.
Thanks. Yeah. Now this one, man, I still consider this Jet Li's swan song movie. I know he's still making movies. He's actually, dude, Jet Li's coming back, teaming up with Jing Wu in a Yuan Wu Ping martial arts movie, bro.
Wow.
This is coming out. It's based off a Chinese anime series, and they're doing a live action movie on it. And he's coming back, bro.
Sorry,
for that
I'm
movie.
touching my phone. I have to for this.
No, let's see if I can find it. He's actually coming back to do this movie with Jackie Wu, Jing Wu. Let's see. I had to hit
Blades of the Guardians.
Yes. And dude, the Chinese anime version of that is nuts. You can actually watch it on YouTube. Somebody put it up on YouTube with subtitles. And the animation's insane for this Chinese. I forgot the term. I forgot the Chinese anime term. What they call
I know comics are manhwa. I don't know what the anime is called though.
Yeah.
Wow.
But dude. And Yuan Wu Ping is doing
this. Looks nuts.
Yeah.
It's in post production. It's already been shot. Oh my god,
dude!
I can't wait. Are you joking?
Right.
Okay, so controversial discussion.
Donghua. That's what it's called.
Donghua.
Okay. That's what their Chinese anime is called. Donghua.
That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense.
That's what it's called.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't want to say I've written off Jet Li, but it's been really hard not to. He's just disappeared, and I know
he's been ill. You can tell.
He's been ill, and he's a pretty serious Zen Buddhist, so he just likes to be quiet for 5 years in a row sometimes, which he's done twice, I think. But it's like, we just want your product, man. You don't get to rest. I'm kidding. It's just that, like, when he does stuff like this or Unleashed or something, or the first trilogy of Once Upon a Time in China, you're like, okay, yes, this is the guy. We need this guy all the time.
Just the legend Tai Chi master. I mean, the new Shout Studios box set, 4K box set, Jet Li box set coming out has everything.
I know. Finally, Fist of Legend will be out in 4K.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of things I've been forced to watch on YouTube.
Actually, Fist of Legend's been on 4K from 88 Films. You can buy it now.
I haven't been able to get it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad I didn't buy any of that because I'll just get this box set that's coming out. It's got everything in it. It's got the Legend of Feng Sayuk movies, Tai Chi Master, Fist of Legend, and I think Bodyguard from Beijing all in one box set, dude. So we're good. When that
sounds like it's the Chinese cuts too. That's always the best.
Yeah. But this was awesome seeing Fearless in theater. That was an amazing experience seeing that.
Yeah.
And
this guy's a good director, man.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie. And it is swan songy. It could have easily been his last movie, no problem, full stop. Like we would have loved him forever, you know. But it's a really classic tale of like learning restraint and like tamping down your ego to be in balance with the rest of yourself and finding harmony in your life and stuff like that, and doing it the hard way. And I think it's one of his best characters. And Wong Fei-hung's a great character, but Wong Fei-hung is Wong Fei-hung. It's like he's a superhero.
Yeah. But this was so good. And directed by the great Ronnie Yu, who I've also had on the show.
Again, great director.
Huge honor to
can we just
interview that guy?
Is that a katana? That's a katana.
Let me look at that. Hold on. Oh boy.
That is a Photoshop faux pas.
Oh my god.
Which I've not seen in some
I didn't
time.
like this poster anyway, but that's all I could find at the time. But yeah, this poster.
Katana. That's the best. Oh, fucking Hollywood.
God
man.
damn it.
Oh my god. It's the same thing. Japanese, Chinese, same thing, right?
Same thing. Come on. But yeah, Fearless is so good. So good. And it's just brutal, man. That sword fight he has earlier.
That's one of the reasons it's so good. So like Wushu is so soft usually the way they film it, and that's one of the reasons I like this movie is because obviously he adapts a bit of a style, but it's still Wushu, and the way that it hits is so hard. And like that, when he makes the mistake in the the fateful moment at the end of the second act that changes his life, I hate to say it because you don't want to talk about magic palm dim mock bullshit, right? Like you never want to like get into that, but there's also like the force of hundreds of miles an hour of a strike to your rib cage can do crazy destructive things, and I think this movie actually shows that to a degree, on a dramatic level that is amazing. Yes, emotional content, perfect.
Yes.
Not anger.
Need emotional content, not anger. Now try again with me. But Fearless is a classic to me. There you go. For Chris, I watched it in college. There you go.
It's a great movie.
So good. Great movie. Horrible poster. All right. Next up. This needs a 4K. I don't think this is in 4K, but now, dude.
All right.
Oh my god, bro.
I love talking about this movie.
Dude, again, with the pics. I mean,
you seen this?
Dude, the Buddhist Fist, Into the Fat Dragon, your picks are like, I'm like, dude, he's picking the ones that people don't talk about a lot. I love this list, bro. The challenge, me and my wife watched this. I don't know how many years ago. We watched it, and just out of curiosity, because we like Scott Glenn, and we're like, oh shit, Toshiro Mifune's in this. That's that's our dude right there. And Toshiro Mifune, dude, that's like one of my favorite actors of all time. I love Tetsuya Nakadai too. But there was a lady at one of the Comic Cons we went to. She had a black shirt and Toshiro Mifune's eyes.
Nice.
And you knew who the fuck that was. And that's it. That was all that was on the shirt, bro. And I was like, that's awesome. Oh my god, that's how iconic Toshiro Mifune is. Exactly. But this movie, bro, I think Seagal did some of the action choreography, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I haven't dug into it actually on a martial arts level. I just So this was on Bravo all the time.
Oh my god.
I think, or AMC or something. So it was on widescreen TV all the time on cable when I was a teenager. And I remember seeing it, and for some reason, I had seen Yojimbo, probably also because of like AMC or Sundance Channel or IFC or something like that, and seen Throne of Blood, and I was really into film already, so I knew a lot more actually about weirdly samurai movies than I did kung fu movies at the time.
Yeah.
And you know, when you see a 60-plus-year-old Toshiro Mifune ripping it off in this movie, you're like, so martial arts is magic, right? Like this is, it keeps people, it's a fountain of youth, and like this guy is just tearing through everybody like they're paper.
Yeah.
And he's such an intense presence in this movie because he's so much, it's weird to say this, he's more angry in this movie and more stern in this movie than almost anything I've ever seen him in.
Yes.
And like this movie also does this thing where it doesn't exoticize the way that it could. I mean, sure, it's definitely, you're in an exotic foreign land and you don't know what, like, if you're Scott Glenn, you don't know who you are or what the fuck you're doing because you literally are just absolute gaijin barbarian filth to these people. Yeah. And these people have so much like structure and so many manners, you know, and like he just is the worst walking into this foreign environment. And they don't do anything, even though he does end up with an Asian woman, like still somehow it's not icky. You know, there's nothing about it that rubs you the wrong way when the white guy learns martial arts from the Japanese master because he already knows how to fight a little bit. He's just getting a tune-up from these guys because he approaches it like a brash Westerner. But it's a great. It's also we dropped the lead, which is it's directed by John Frankenheimer of Manchurian Candidate fame.
Oh my God!
It's an Oscar-winning director who made this movie.
Wow,
it's bizarre.
Either I forgot that or I didn't know that. It's
bizarre. That's why it looks so good. It actually is beautifully photographed throughout the entire movie, and it stood out of my mind for years, and I couldn't find it anywhere, so I had to buy a Blu-ray.
Yeah, when we watched it, it was we watched it because, you know, we like B movies and cheesy stuff, so we were like, oh, this has got to be cheesy, right? This has got to be cheesy fun, and we watched it, and by the end of it, we were like, holy shit, the fucking challenge is legit. Like this is a legit, not just a legit movie, but a legit martial arts movie, dude. Yeah. But I wish, you know, once in a while we'll do reaction videos here on the channel, and I wish we were recording us watching the movie because it probably would have gone down as one of the greatest reactions to something ever because my wife was drinking something and I was sitting down here. And right when it got to the scene where the security guards are using the cameras to he's looking at the TV, right? Looking at the CCTV footage. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Toshiro Mifune pops in frame and cuts the camera. She spit out whatever she was drinking, and I was laughing my ass off because we were not expecting the camera to go like this. And they're checking outside, parking lot looks good. And all of a sudden, Toshiro Mifune just pops up and goes, "Wah!" Oh my God, we were laughing. Oh my God.
Super jump scare.
We were like, this is the greatest movie ever now. Like
that whole final sequence is insane. There's a lot of stuff in that you're just like by the end, and they're all like, there's just bodies everywhere in this corporate headquarters, this place. You're just like, what the fuck? This is insane. Is this the 1700s again? Because it's just like all sword carnage everywhere you look.
Yeah, please, everybody watching the stream right now, please go check out the challenge or buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah,
oh man, I'm surprised there's never been a remake. Especially when you have a Westerner, I'm very surprised that never happened. Yeah. So, but we don't need one. So, but still, I'm kind of surprised it never happened. No, but yeah, let's keep it going, man. This is fun. Was that the last one?
That's the last martial arts.
Oh, that's the last one. Okay, so let's go to.
That's a good. Yeah, it's a good transitional piece.
There you go. Now we're in action film. Now some of your favorite action films of all time.
Yeah,
these movies are overrated once again with your overrated picks, bro. Come on.
And Keanu Reeves, nobody likes the guy.
Nobody. He's an asshole. He's the biggest. Okay. I mean, come on, John Wick, dude. The John Wick franchise are just, you know, they're so good. I mean, there is, of course, you could be nitpicky and talk about some of the flaws of the movies, but there's a documentary coming out called.
Wick is Pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, see, this is why, you know, I feel like it's a lost art to have behind the scenes special features. Because DVD, you go back to DVD, they'll have tons of shit on DVDs. Blu-rays kind of has some stuff. Once in a while, you'll get some Blu-rays with tons of stuff. But I feel like, especially with the 4K era, I feel like behind the scenes special features and how they put the fights together and how they put the stunts together, which makes you appreciate the work even more. I feel like it's a lost art. I feel like nobody gives a shit anymore. You buy 4Ks now, the 4Ks will maybe have the trailer. That's
Really?
it. Yeah. Well, not all of
It's too
them,
bad.
but a lot of them. You don't get cool animated menus anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
it's kind of a lost art. But I like that this Wick of Pain is documentary's coming out because it's showing all the ridiculous hard work the stunt guys had to put these fight scenes together and do the fight choreography and do these crazy stunts to make you appreciate action cinema and martial arts
Yeah.
cinema. It's fucking hard work, man. Even for
And-
a 6-day filming independent low budget movie, it's fucking hard.
especially for that. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it's fucking hard. But
I mean,
man, John Wick just really just every movie's like, hey, let's up the ante. Let's
that's what
just
I was
make
just
it
gonna say.
more insane.
And let's make it different. Like they found a way to make it different every movie. Like the second
Yeah.
one is the second one. The second one's the one in Italy, right? Where he goes on the tactical mission. I love that during the rave. Obviously during a rave, it's a John Wick movie. But obviously there's a club dance sequence with a DJ and some beats while people are dying.
The shotgun, bro. The shotgun.
Oh god, that whole fucking tunnel sequence. It's just like, I mean, this is a great transition from martial arts movies because they are kind of obviously still martial arts movies in a way, and it's just, I mean, I can't get over. It just sucks that there's the impetus of the entire story is something that's very hard to watch in the first movie, and it's almost like I wish I was the guy that I was when I had my Kung Fu DVD collection, where I was like, let's just watch some fight scenes, because I now I'm a purist where I like want to watch the whole movie and I have to watch the puppy thing just to get into the whole carnage of it all, because you got to understand, man. Every time you watch it, you got to get into his motivation.
Yeah.
So,
and it's interesting because, like you said, every film has its own flavor, because a lot of people pick John Wick 3 as the martial arts one out of all of them. All of them have martial arts fighting in it, but there's way more martial. If you go back and watch 3, there's way more one-on-one fights in 3. That's kind of like the Kung Fu one compared to 4, because 4 had the action in Japan in the beginning, and that's it. There wasn't really any other.
Well, yeah, 3. Okay, 3. Yeah, 3 is the one where they're chasing him through New York, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
But he fights the guys from the raid at the end, and
oh, that's right. And Mark
Dacascos. Yeah, so that
weirdo.
one really,
he's such a weirdo in that movie too.
Tiger Chin.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Tiger Chin. His teacher, his master. He kind of fights him. Yeah.
It was hard not to have honorable mention Man of Tai Chi, but since Rick Myers just tore me a new one about Man of Tai Chi, I decided not to bring it.
He didn't like that movie?
I had him on my podcast, so man, he took us to task about. Well, he took me to task about some of my favorite martial arts movies. It's funny. That's what he's here for, though.
I like Man of Tai Chi. I thought it was fun.
I like it too. He's just like, that's not Tai Chi, you know. I'm like, well, it isn't. It isn't.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing as MMA and Flashpoint. You know what I mean? It's like you got to make it look good in a movie. I don't know.
Yeah. But
I'm coming for you, Sifu Myers.
That's right. That's right. Nobody's safe. Well, he likes debating. It's fun. But yeah, John. I mean, even at the fight with the knife, that was like out of a the knife throwing fight.
Oh,
that was out of a Jackie Chan movie.
I love the realization moment too, where they all like look around. They're like, "Holy shit, we're surrounded by knives."
Oh man, but yeah, John Wick really kind of like The Matrix was a one and done movie. They weren't planning on making more, and that's why for a lot of people, both franchise, some of them their favorite movies, the first John Wick and Matrix. Obviously, the first movie's the best. There's no debate on which is the best Matrix movie. It's the first one. Yeah. But John Wick, the first movie, really quick before we move on, that when it came out, me and my buddy went out of boredom because we weren't impressed by the trailers. We were like, oh, we like Keanu, and I'm thinking I'm back. Like we like Keanu, but we were like, let's just go see. Let's just go to the movies. John Wick action movie. Let's see what it is. We really weren't like excited or hyped for it because this was kind of a sleeper hit. Yeah. It kind of came out of nowhere, really.
It was like Blade.
Yeah.
Like nobody realized what they were getting into when they walked in the theater, and then you're just like, oh my god! Ironically, people dying during the rave is a major component of both movies.
Oh yeah, right. That's it. We're doing the best rave club fight scenes, action sequences.
It's hard to deny that blood rave, man. That scene is incredible, man. When you first see Wesley Snipes go to town, you're like, oh, that's what this movie is.
When the opening action sequence is so good, that it easily could be a finale for another movie. you know you're watching a good fucking movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, once they started doing the tactical style of shooting and choreography, it felt so new. It felt fresh, because usually we're used to dudes just praying and spraying and shooting 100 bullets and stuff. But it was, you know, interesting to see the tactical way of shooting. And we were like looking at each other. We were like, this is different. What is this? Yeah. And we ended up really loving the movie.
Especially after
my only nitpick with John Wick, the first one, is that end finale fight was terrible.
Yeah, well, they didn't. I don't know. They didn't realize what they really had. I think, where they were like, "Oh, it is still kind of a martial arts franchise, so there does need to be a final boss situation that's really a little bit more convincing."
Unless maybe with Pain of Wick, or Wick of Pain, whatever it's called, maybe we'll find out what happened with the first one, because maybe it kind of felt like they just ran out of time.
Well, they had a lot of money problems on the first one too. So
yeah,
that's part of that documentary.
But yeah, love this franchise.
I
another action franchise where somebody says this is the greatest action franchise of all time. I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, it's kind of undeniable. It's certainly as an American action franchise, it's very unique, and it has spawned.
I'm not going to argue with
there's I'm pretty sure there's another movie we're going to talk about that directly spins off of this one. It's
Rumble
spawned.
In the Bronx.
I snuck in another martial arts movie into my action movies.
I
also noticed you took I noticed you removed the Yip Man movies, which is fine. We don't need to talk about more Wing Chun.
I did.
But I didn't see him in there in the martial arts. We didn't talk about. That's all right. Hey man, I gave you a list of 12 when you asked for 10. It's okay.
I thought I put it in there. That's weird.
No, it's fine. I'm sure you've talked about Yip Man a bunch, but I will say, just going back to John Wick 4 for a second and Yip Man 4, the difference in the nunchuck. Yeah, me too, Chris. The Yip Man movies are incredible. I just rewatched all 4 of them like 2 weeks ago. Great franchise. I mean, it's a great heartfelt franchise, and it's such bullshit historically, but it's awesome. But the way that nunchucks are used, it's like the Bruce Lee nunchuck effect in movies is one thing, because you've never seen anybody using that fast. But in John Wick 4, that's what they look like when they hit somebody. They're not spinning around all the time. They're bouncing off of people's skulls left and right in that movie. It's so intense. And the first time I watched it, I was like, I don't think the nunchuck scene looks that good. And the second time I watched it, I was like, oh shit. He's cracking skulls and breaking kneecaps and shit left and right. So it's just flopping around, not as gracefully, but it's actually much more realistic. It's interesting. So
and speaking of realism, but yeah, everybody watching, make sure you check out the Yip Man movies 1 to 4. And there's a 5 coming, by the way.
What?
Yeah. We're getting another Flashpoint, and then we're getting another Yip Man. So I don't know.
It's funny about the Yip Man movies, if you've seen them, audience, like every one of them seems to basically end with his epitaph, and then he went on to teach Bruce Lee and die, and then he went on to teach Bruce Lee and die, and then it's like usually the 4 movies kind of wraps it up, and then they're like, no, we got more gas in the tank for this. It's the best. Yeah, I mean, never put it past Chinese movies to just keep going. You know what I mean?
But it was funny. Well, you just talking about realism. It's I don't know what it is about people getting tired towards the end of the fight, but it just makes it more realistic.
Yeah,
there's and that happens in that John Wick fight. Like everyone's like dead, like on the ground, like
when he and Donnie are on either side of the glass, and they're both just like.
Yeah, it's so good
for a second.
Yeah,
like, we're not that young anymore,
Yeah, it makes it more. So it makes it feel more realistic. Especially one of my favorite sword duels is oh my god, this was Sonny Chiba. Oh, The Fall of Echo Castle, which is a 47 Ronin movie. The fight he has at the end of that movie with the other samurai dude is one of my favorites of all time, because towards the end they're exhausted, and it's so good. It starts off just like. It feels realistic because they're really trying to hit each other, but they're like, a couple of times they're stumbling and falling over. Like, it's really good. Yeah, The Fall of Echo Castle it's on Blu-ray. There's a Sonny Chiba collection box set. It's in that. It's included in that. But yeah,
is it,
for sure.
Spell Eiko. Is it EIKO?
I think it's A. AKO, I think. Hold on, let me find it here.
Eiko, maybe. Oh, there we go. I just want to see if it's streaming. Yes, it's of course on one of the Prime channels that I have.
Damn, 1978. I don't know why I thought that was an 80s movie.
Well, 78 is kind of the 80s.
Yeah, close enough.
Vibes wise.
Yeah. Sonny Chiba box set's really cheap though. That it comes with it. But yeah, we bought this on Blu-ray and we watched it last year, and it took us back to the 90s, and we just couldn't stop smiling with Rumble in the Bronx, dude.
It's a fun movie.
It's just so much fun, even with the bad English dubbing.
That too, but also talk about running out of gas in the final fight. Like, it's just the wrap up is like, okay, I guess the movie's over now. You know, but like everything leading up to that is so eye-poppingly amazing. Like it is Jackie Chan the movie in a way, you know. Like he's like, let's give him a greatest hits, but all in one movie kind of thing.
Doing parkour before parkour was popular.
Well, he made parkour what it was, I think. Anyway, but it was you know, I mean, he would tell you himself he's not a martial artist. Obviously, he is. He's amazing, but he learned it all through the movies, and the thing that he is, you know, the best at. Okay, here's a weird controversial thing. Okay. He's a better acrobat than Yun Biao, which I refuse to believe that, because I've seen Righting Wrongs, for instance, which has the the flips between chairs sequence, which is an amazing fight scene. But like,
you think so?
Well, okay, this is what I'm saying. It's controversial. Okay. Because Jackie Chan, they've both done crazy stuff.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. But Jackie Chan, he threads needles and does things that are like geometric acrobatics that I don't think Yun Biao would ever try. Yun Biao is an amazing, clean acrobat. But here's the most controversial thing that I'm going to say right now.
Okay.
That I never thought of until my Sihing, the guy who taught me Wing Chun, Put Hin Chung, last name Put. Weird, never heard that name in Chinese before, but apparently it's a, you know, not a common name, but it's a Chinese name, you know, rare one. Anyway, he said when you see Yun Biao in a kung fu movie, you know the martial arts is going to be good because he's one of the best martial artists working. Yeah. And in my mind back then, I was like, oh, of the three fortunes, this guy's the acrobat guy.
Right.
And then I started really looking, and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. This guy is an incredible. He has like a Tong Sudo background or something, and then he got really good at Wing Chun from Prodigal Son and all the stuff they were doing, you know, wushu wise in the movies or whatever. The guy just picked it all up, you know, like an automaton. He was just able to like integrate, you know. But he's an amazingly clean martial artist.
I think he's the better kicker than Jackie Chan.
His kicks are nuts. Yeah, Jackie Chan's kicks are flat, like flashy when he wants them to be. His hands are what is magic about Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I learned a lot about hands from him because it's the ragamuffin thing where he can mix styles. You know, it's like not a style, but it is a style. You know, and that inspired me to try. I mean, that's like the Bruce Lee thing. It's an MMA thing. It inspires you to start putting things together. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
a way of fighting without fighting.
Exactly.
But yeah, well, that's an interesting take. I kind of dig it. But I mean, we all know Yun Biao is insane with the acrobats, especially if you've seen the ending finale showdown in Knockabout.
Oh yeah,
it's fucking nuts what Yun Biao does. I've been saying Yun Biao for years, and people say Yun Biao. Which one is it?
I guess it is Biao. Yeah, that's the problem. Well, I mean, we are done no favors when it comes to pronouncing.
I think your room's haunted, bro.
No, it's my cat. It's my cat. It's a cat.
That'll be me too, because I got cats running around.
It makes sense that there's a guest appearance later on because I had counted on them being napping and quiet.
Oh, it's fine. My cat will probably jump up here right now. It's fine.
She's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, Rumble in the Bronx is great. But you talking about the end finale kind of just ending.
Let me ask you real quick. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Nope.
No, I was saying that was kind of a theme with his movies in the 90s for some reason. Mr. Nice Guy didn't end with a big finale fight with Richard Norton. It just ended with a big stunt. And same thing with
that's the house with the bulldozer, right?
Yeah. And what was it? I mean, Mr. Nice Guy's still fun. I still like the movie.
But why don't they have a big fight? It makes no sense. Like, that's the guy. Rest in peace, Richard Norton. That's the guy you want to see a fight with.
I know. We'll have to settle with City Hunter, I guess, with their fighting, a hilarious fight at the end of City Hunter.
I don't like that movie's not very good though.
It's fun.
Sure, I'll give you that. It's Wong Jing, man. I don't know. Wong Jing is
he's nuts. It's bad. If you're in the mood for batshit insane.
Yeah, all of his movies are like that. And it's not really my flavor, but
whatchamacallit, Yeah, well, what the rumor I've heard, I don't know what you've heard, is that Jackie Chan was like, I kind of just fucking done everything at this point.
Mm,
I've done every single end finale fight with any weapon style in my whole career. So what am I going to do now? So that could be
fair, I guess.
even at the end of, there was no end finale fight at the end of the movie where he fought with the ladders, the ladder fight.
Oh,
Oh my
brain.
god! First strike.
Australia, First Strike. Thank you.
Yeah,
I
there
was
was
like,
no end
Australia,
finale. Yeah, there was
koala. Come on,
no
we're
end
almost there.
finale fight in First Strike.
Oh wait, koala is Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah.
The koala underwear. That's Mr. Nice Guy. I just watched
Crime
that
Story. I don't really remember there being an end
Crime
finale.
Story. Oh man, Kirk Wong,
Fight.
dude. Those movies though, the Kirk Wong trilogy, the Hong Kong crime trilogy that he made with that, and the two Danny Lee movies or whatever. Oh my god, those movies are super intense. And Crime Story is one of Jackie Chan's best. It was one of the first times he ever said, "Forget about the stunts, forget about the martial arts, just watch the acting." And it is a knockout performance. It is like a brutally emotional performance, even to this day. And it's like The Foreigner, for instance. This is another movie I had trouble not putting on this list because.
Dude. See,
Jackie
I told
Chan,
you we were brothers.
It's like he comes out of retirement in The Foreigner. It's like, I've been bored of him for 5 years and 10 years. And then all of a sudden he's like, watch me destroy the IRA. And you're like, I will. I'm here for it. Give me the popcorn. You know?
That is another ridiculously underrated action movie.
Yeah. I just watched, that's Martin Campbell. I just watched The Cleaner last night. He's a great action director, man. GoldenEye, Casino Royale.
I mean, come on.
You know.
But yeah, the Foreigner is ridiculously underrated. It's nuts. It is nuts.
The fights are amazing.
I even like what is it, Shinjuku Incident? Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I have seen that.
That's pretty good. Pretty good gangster movie.
Similar, like police story, crime story.
Yeah,
you know, not a lot of. I can't remember if there's a lot of. I think that's more of like a gun movie than a martial arts movie, right?
Yeah, it's not really martial arts, but it's pretty good drama though. But yeah, Rumble in the Bronx, it's definitely a time capsule movie, but man, what a time. What a time to be living.
Saw that one in the theater, man. That was a
blast. Me too. Yeah. Now this one, man, you know, really I enjoyed this movie so much that I went out and bought the Funko Pop of her.
Oh, I want that. I didn't even realize they had one. Of course they did.
That's how much it's over here. That's how much I enjoyed this movie. It's so good. My only minor itty bitty nitpick is it kind of felt like it had 3 to 4 endings.
Yeah, but that's because it has this onion thing going on where it's all these layers of her deep cover. Yeah. So they're kind of forced to do that.
When that first ending ended, I was like, this is great. This is like going to be my top. But then it kept going. And I was like, oh, wait, we're not done. Oh, wait. Okay.
It's true. It has other than that, 2.5 epilogues. But it's an exciting, hard-hitting action movie. And it's got some really good fights in it. I mean, honestly,
she takes some bumps.
She really takes them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I put the other movie that she's in on this list, because she's amazing at action. I hope this next Old Guard movie is up to par with some of the stuff she's done, because she's
Why did it take so fucking long?
I don't know, man. She's so good. It's insane. Yeah.
Like, why did it take so long to sequel that movie? I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of the first one, to be honest with you. So I'm not really I don't care if it comes out or not comes out. It's fine with me. But that's just Netflix for me in general. But
yeah, this was great. And her fight with Daniel Bernhardt, bro, so good.
Really good. Dude, the keys and stuff. Oh my god, they just destroy that apartment, and it's like, it's a very realistic drag out fight where they just beat the shit out of each other, and like that's kind of what fighting is. And I like it when a movie, again, you go back to the exhaustion. She's absolutely destroyed by the end of this just from exhaustion alone.
Yes.
Yeah, we have a question. Daniel Bernhardt, MVP, man.
We have a question here. Egg says, is First Strike part of the police story movies? I would say yes.
Yes, I feel like it's supposed to be. Even though I've only seen the dub version, so who the hell knows? They keep changing his name from Jackie to Kevin to whatever.
I keep hearing about the Hong Kong version of Rumble in the Bronx. I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
Yeah,
it's like the Jet Li. It's like Fist of Legend. It's really hard to find the HK version of it.
Yeah. But yeah, great pick. This makes me want to rewatch the movie. I haven't watched it in a long time.
Great soundtrack too.
Yeah, dude. Look at that. See?
Bingo. Yeah, I heard you. Yeah.
James McAvoy was great.
Yeah, James McAvoy is really fun in it. You know?
Yeah, Dread, son. That's right.
So
That's
speaking of the
right.
raid, I just watched this like 3 nights ago because I had a friend in town all week, and we were trying
Yeah.
to find stuff that was just visually awesome to watch. And of course, you got to watch this movie.
This movie, look, I got the Dread tattoo right here.
Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on. I can't see
Oh.
that. It's tiny. Oh, you're in a tiny thumbnail right now.
Let me try to blow it up. I don't know if you could see it, but right here. See it?
Oh yeah. The actual Carl Urban Dread. Nice.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And
Nice.
because I'm a metalhead, on the badge it says Anthrax.
Of course.
Because they made I Am the Law song. So yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, this movie here, again, one of the worst trailers I've ever seen. The trailer for this movie made this movie look like a piece of shit. It made the movie look like a cheap, low-budget piece of shit. And I was embarrassed. I watched this.
So funny.
Oh, man.
It's so funny that you say that, dude. So I just said I had a friend in town and we watched this movie. Yeah. So when we decided to watch this movie, what I tried to get him to watch with me before it was Atomic Blonde. But I showed him the trailer. And before I showed him the trailer, he said, dude, I am so sick of Cold War, spy, double cross, deep cover bullshit. It's all the same. And the trailer for Atomic Blonde could not be more generic and could not have absolutely neutered that fucking, or Spade, I should say, as a female lead. It just destroyed any credibility I had with that movie to try to sell it to my friend because it was such a generic trailer and I was absolutely mortified. I was like, I'm so sorry, dude. I wouldn't have even made you watch that trailer if I knew that was the trailer. It was so funny. Right. So we ended up watching this and being absolutely satisfied, of course.
Yeah, of course. So. Yeah. And but the trailer, I was embarrassed. I was like, oh, because I know everybody hates the Stallone one. And I get it. I understand I have a soft spot for it. That was a couple of
moments in it.
That was my introduction to the character. I didn't know it was a comic book character. And if you watch the Stallone one, the opening title font's very reminiscent of what Marvel does now. Because I was like, whoa, this is a comic book movie? Wait a minute, hold on a second. Is it a comic book character? The Dread trailer, if you go back and watch the Stallone Dread trailer, it's still fire. It's with that music, it still makes it look like an amazing movie.
You know what though, man? People can't cut trailers anymore. It's
Dude, what
awful.
The fuck?
Like nobody, I swear to God, I could probably make $1 million just doing a shitty fucking Premiere Pro or Premiere Rush edit of a trailer for a studio because they're all the same. They give you the whole story, and they ruin the tone. They don't give you anything special. They don't tantalize you, tease you. They don't do anything to build suspense for the movie. It sucks.
Yeah,
and
it's rare. It's rare once in a while. I'll get excited because I do trailer reactions, so I like to have fun. I hope this is good, but majority of the trailers are the same. Yeah.
Robert Eggers movies have good trailers. They all have amazing trailers where you're like, ooh, this looks spooky, like Nosferatu and The Northman.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to get to that a little bit later. Oh, there we go. Certified Badass channel member, flexing, throwing it up. What's up, Heather? Good to see you. But yeah, we're talking Dread. And I was so embarrassed by the trailer. I didn't really want to see this, and we went to go to Universal Studios that day, me and my wife and a couple other people, but we went there early, so we were like, let's kill some time because we were waiting for other people to show up. So we're like, hey, Dread's being shown in City Walk in 3D, fuck it. So I'm like, all right, let's go. So we saw it City Walk in 3D, and I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, this is fucking amazing. And me and my wife are not big, huge 3D fans. And the 3D in that movie just worked. Unfortunately, the 3D for the movie was the detriment of the film.
Really?
Unfortunately. Yeah, because it bombed. And a lot of it was because it was released and it was too expensive to convert it into 3D. And it was wasn't released into multiple theaters. Because only certain theaters had the 3D capabilities, and that's why it bombed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why it bombed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This poor movie. This movie, I mean, switched directors in the last 10% of filming, and I mean, obviously, the reason it is a success is because of that switch, because the writer took over. But man, it is. I kind of want to see the 3D version as well, just like Shen says here, because it is. It's such an eye-popping, interesting color palette and so many just in-your-face moments. I think it'd be. It's it is kind of like Avatar. It's like designed almost to be 3D, which is maybe what was happening. But
Yeah,
that's too bad, man. I didn't know that.
Dude, the soundtrack, bro.
Oh, I know.
The
it's so
fucking
good.
soundtrack is goated. Dread 3D soundtrack is goated. Oh yeah, the 24/7 poster of Dread over here.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah, it's great. And ever since this movie, this movie is a perfect example of a cult classic.
Mm-hmm.
And fans have been, since this film came out, fans have been wanting to see a sequel for years. The most recent rumor I've heard is, and it's just a rumor, is that we're going to possibly get an Amazon Prime series and Carl Urban's coming back. But I doubt that. I doubt that because Carl Urban's already on an Amazon Prime show.
But that show's over.
The Boys?
They're done filming it.
Oh, you mean the final season?
Yeah, it's like coming out. It's coming out this fall, I think. So
okay,
that's
I didn't
done.
know.
So he's free.
I didn't know I didn't know the last season was the. I didn't know the next season was the final season. Oh,
the only thing that I know for sure is that if they ever make another Star Trek movie with the Abrams cast, he'll come back. But that's the only thing I know of for sure. But like I heard about 2 weeks ago, some rumors of Alpha or Mega City 1, the series actually happening. So
dude,
we'll see.
Insane.
I mean, he's a way bigger star now because of The Boys. So there's no reason that it would be hard to get that greenlit, in my opinion.
I hope so. I hope it happens. And I would just to revisit this world and that character. We don't need movies. A really awesome, violent, gritty TV show would work just as good.
Be amazing.
It would be the closest thing as we never really got our fourth official Evil Dead movie. And then Ash versus the Evil Dead series comes out. That's the closest, and that was a fun show. That's the closest we're going to get to a fourth Evil Dead movie.
Are you sure? I thought there was one coming.
With Bruce Campbell as the lead as Ash.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
there's something new coming from that, though, right?
I don't know. Maybe you've heard something I didn't. So let us know.
I'm sorry. I don't want to drag down the podcast. I'm a film news snob, so I love to dig into stuff, especially stuff like that.
We're talking movies, man. That's what the podcast
Army of
is
Darkness,
for.
Man. That was like such a huge seminal moment. I got that on Laserdisc without having seen it.
Do you still have it?
No, I don't have my Laserdisc. I wish I didn't get rid of my Laserdisc. Man, they do those things. 110 Laserdiscs or something is what I had. Is like 700 pounds. That shit weighs so much that to move them from apartment to apartment, I'd rather move my comic collection 50 times than just move that one more time.
Hey, you never know when you do your store runs or convention runs, just for fun. If you come across a Laserdisc for a movie for cheap, buy it and frame it and hang it on the wall just for fun.
That's actually some of those boxes were amazing. They when it's just like the golden age of DVD boxes where they just go all out on slipcases and just do all kinds of crazy art for it. I mean, some of those were amazing.
Yeah, Riemann Williams was a fun movie. Rick Myers hates it.
Oh my God! Well, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of reasons.
I get it.
Movie.
I get it.
But it's a good movie. It's actually fun. Yeah, that's the problem. And Fred Ward is awesome,
dude. It deserves.
Speaking of actors that did martial arts and never got a chance to do it on screen except for that one time.
Yeah, he did his own stunts too in that. A lot of it.
Yeah, he's good. You can tell from his hands that he did karate. Like he's got really tight fucking knife hands in that.
Yeah,
so really good stuff.
The guy's dodging bullets. It's hilarious. It's fun.
That's
But
martial arts
on Dread before we keep it rocking and rolling.
Well, just the element of the raid parallel, I think, is really fascinating with it, considering they're kind of made simultaneously, and released simultaneously, and there's no real chance that they could have influenced each other in any way.
It's just one of those.
But one of the things I think is really interesting about this movie is I don't think that it could have existed without that structure, because if they tried to do Mega City 1 and tried to do a comic book movie with this movie, it absolutely would have failed. But by putting it into this singular location and locking them in, you get to develop the city outside by hinting at it. You do just the right teases of things, and it just does a great job of painting the canvas so that later then this TV show can hopefully.
Plus, you need a big budget to show the rest of the city, dude.
Yeah,
you need a big budget.
Effects have gone down in price since the movie got made, at least, so they have a chance in the future.
Yeah, maybe for the show. the show, you know. There we go. No, I am better than that. But yeah, Dredd's great.
Yeah.
We had a great versus.
Was that a Joel Gray quote?
Huh?
From Remo Williams? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're killing me here, man. Joel Gray, the ultimate Asian
we
makeup.
Had a great,
boy.
Versus episode on the channel with Dredd versus the Raid. That was a lot of fun. All right, next up. Oh shit. Conan the Barbarian. Speaking of goated
score.
Yeah, dude. Goated soundtrack. Still to this day, bro. I got the sword too. I got an actual replica of the sword.
I love that. I wanted to get one of those for a while. I just not sure. I kind of want to get real first because replica. I don't want to try to start. I don't want to start dating a woman and have her walk in and see that. I'd rather she already be married to me and get it and put it in the house, and then she's stuck with me already, so that I can. Because I feel like that's a tough sell unless it's the right woman. So I've already got like 4 katanas and a couple of Chinese swords, some nunchucks and stuff laying around. Like,
hey, it'd be a hard sell for me too, man. If I was single, all these action figures in the back.
Telling you, man.
Oh God, he likes toys.
It never gets old to make fun of your friends that are married with their toys and stuff. It never gets old.
But yeah, this, bro. Oh my God. So fucking good, dude. Still the best.
Still the best. And you know what's funny is that I grew up not knowing enough about Conan anyway, or Conan, or whatever. But people would always shit on this. Like people who were Conan purists would be like, the movie's all right, I guess, whatever. But like, I grew up with the movie and I've always loved it, and I think it has a unique like texture to it, and it's a great performance by Arnie. Some of the action is amazing. But then I recently read all the Robert E. Howard stories twice. Okay. I just listen to them on Audible when I'm drawing, so I'm able to like about 2 years apart. I just ran through all the stories twice.
Now, how do you feel?
And what I realized, it's a survey. It's like a Reader's Digest survey version of the whole universe crammed into one movie.
Okay.
And by that rationale, I think it's a complete success.
Nice.
You know, which is undermined by a pretty mediocre sequel, but
still fun.
You know, it's still fun. But it just defangs it. You know, it's just so it's obviously PG-13, and it's so obvious across the board that the tone has changed. You know, Conan's friendly. It's weird. You're like, why is he so friendly? He should be he's kind of a like
Conan
the Destroyer.
Conan the Destroyer has to go down as the most violent PG movie.
Is it PG?
I think it's PG, bro. Because remember, they didn't. I don't think they did PG-13 until Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom.
Oh, that's true. It created PG-13. Yeah. Because it was too dark with the kids, the enslaved kids.
Yeah. Favorite Arnold movie. Yeah.
It's tough.
Conan, what is best in life? Yeah.
The Riddle of Steel. Yeah. So for your audience, I've got the Conan alternate poster here. You're showing the
that poster is sick.
I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's hard to see it. Hold on, let me remove the logo here. The logo's in the way. There we go.
I'm a sucker for an alternate.
No problem. Yeah.
I'm a sucker for an alternate movie poster. You know, like the popular poster is all good and everything, but like I have an alternate Raiders of the Lost Ark that I love, and I love when I saw this Conan, I was like, the painting on the arm alone on this fucking poster is worth buying the painting of the poster. It's an incredible Conan, but it's in Japanese, so it's the Japanese release. So
dude, the alternate posters are majority of the time better.
Yeah.
They're
quite
better.
Often.
Yeah.
Quite often. Yeah.
And
that's the fascinating thing about it.
Yeah, the one we got here, I bought there was a steelbook, Blu-ray steelbook of Conan that came out, and I bought it not just because of the movie. I wanted the movie, but I bought it because of the artwork. And the artwork is this, right? Mm-hmm. But guess what's missing from this poster? He's holding a decapitated head.
On yours?
Yeah, well, on the steelbook. On the steelbook. That was the original. That was the original artwork.
Dude, I don't think I knew that.
But for the poster, they couldn't show that, and they took out the decapitated head. Huh. But yeah, I was like, dude, he's holding a decapitated head. I'm buying that steelbook right now, dude.
The other thing about this poster that you're showing is this is like the original Star Wars, the Hildebrand Star Wars poster, where
Yeah.
Luke has Leia crouching at his leg and the the lightsaber in front of Vader's eye.
Mm-hmm.
It was done like without the actor's likeness, so it was actually repainted with the actor's likeness, and it's a much inferior version of the painting. This has been repeated a bunch of times with very middling results in some cases, where you're just like, why the fuck did they go back to this one? They should have just done a new painting, like had somebody. It's like, if you're gonna pay somebody to paint the thing, anyway.
Or keep the decapitated head.
Yeah, put that back in. That's what I want. I'm so curious about that now, because I have the Blu-ray and now I'm kind of curious, but I think it's a different image on the cover.
Right. But the rewatching this in 4K, I'm like, dude, nobody talks about how fucking cool Valeria is.
She's amazing,
dude.
Actually.
She's a cool character. Everyone talks about Black Widow and women warriors and fighters and something. It's like, dude, that's cool and everything, but dude, fucking Valeria, go back, rewatch this movie, and Valeria is just as badass as Conan. She ends up saving their lives. She doesn't need any help.
Yep.
And the actress,
and she becomes a Valkyrie.
Dude, it's fucking dope, bro. You want to live forever? I mean, dude, no one talks about I need to do a list. I need to do a video, a list of the most underrated action female characters out there for movies.
She's great. Tons. Yeah, Valeria's great. I do think the romance is a little cheesy, but that's also a sign of the times. Like the Clark Kent, Lois Lane romance and Superman with Chris Reeve is like pretty cheesy, maudlin, like over the top. And I feel like there's moments of eye contact in this movie where you're just like, okay, it's time to cut. Like, let's cut to the next scene.
It's the barbaric age, bro. It's like, no, we're gonna fuck now. Let's grab. We have our mead. We have our meat and our meat, and then we're gonna be slapping meat. That's what this is.
If I may quote the source material, gigantic mirths and gigantic melancholies. So that's the whole.
That's the era, man. That's the era.
Exactly.
Have you seen? I don't know. Have you seen The Substance? I still have not watched it yet. I'm going to watch it soon.
You know what?
I'm gonna have
both of those I have not seen yet. I just have been dancing around them, and
I'm surprised because you're a Robert Eggers fan. I'm surprised you haven't seen Nosferatu.
It just came down to time. Like I was trying. Like I told you, did 2 events back to back this weekend.
Oh yeah, you were
before
crazy busy,
and I had a house guest in between, so it was just. And I had a book that I printed for one of those events, so it was just like the most insane couple of months leading up to that. Comics are weird. You really have to just kind of turn off a lot of stuff,
Right.
It's unfortunate. Right. So a lot of times I watch a throwaway TV show like Elementary or something like that,
Yeah. Thoughts on the Jason Momoa Conan movie?
I want to like it.
I liked him.
Yeah.
As the character. But unfortunately, the movie had one of the coolest openings ever. And then the rest of the movie was just like, it's a Disney movie with some blood.
It's got a lot of digital trash in it, too.
Because it was 3D.
So bad. Yeah, I don't know.
Stop with the 3D, goddammit. it.
It's like, what's weird is like he says, what does he say? I live, I love, I slay, I blah, blah, which I hate his delivery of that. And then I read one of the books. I was like, oh, that's in the book. It's like maybe in Red Nails. It's like in one of the first major Conan stories, that exact monologue. Right. And I was like, damn it, man. Like they even tried to hew to the source material, but the movie is just not very well directed. And it's just. No.
And you get Stephen Lang as the main villain. How do you fuck
that
up?
I don't know. Because that guy's incredible in real life. Like he's hands down.
Yeah.
Good.
The beginning with young Conan was so good.
Yeah.
I mean, he came back with a bag of decapitated heads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's fucking Conan, dude. And then the rest of the movie's like, the mummy with some blood.
Yeah, the whole like super powered crown thing. It's like trying to make a Star Wars movie, where they're like, well, there's got to be a Death Star, obviously. It's like, no, just make a weird, like, roving tale of this guy on, out for revenge or out for justice or to steal something or whatever. It's Conan. There's a lot of options.
Yeah. I think it's Ed Brubaker. Is it Ed Brubaker? Let me see. Ed Brubaker.
I want to know what this segue is.
I'm trying to remember because I have several Conan graphic novels, and I'm trying to remember if it was him that wrote it. It may not have been Ed Brubaker. It's probably somebody else.
Kurt Busiek.
It's been those are like they're in the boxes in the garage for years, so I haven't read them yet. You know, it's been a long time. But yeah, I have a couple of graphic novels that are really good. But yeah, this is Conan to us right here. That's right. Meat, slapping meat. That's it. That's how you do it. All right, next up.
Max von Sydow too.
Max von Sydow. Yeah, there we go. Dude, another pick where I'm like, why aren't more people talking about this fucking movie? You've had like 5 of these already. You had like 5 of these already. Dude.
I don't know why people don't know about this movie. It was right before, it was like the lull in Keanu Reeves' career between The Matrix and John Wick, and people were just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like in the David Ayer crime classic library, in my opinion. He's made a couple of bangers, like The End of Watch and this, and I don't know. Let's just stick with those two. Sabotage, pretty strong too. David Ayer is a really good action crime filmmaker.
I feel unfortunately. Oh, I'm looking at the comments there. I feel that David Ayer has become, his career's kind of become overlooked because of Suicide Squad.
Well, he made The Beekeeper.
Yeah, well, he's lucky he had that.
And Working Man, which I have yet to see. So we'll see.
I've heard mixed things.
Me too.
Rick really likes it, but he's Jason Statham biased. I had some other friends go, "What the fuck happened? Beekeeper's like 1,000 times better than this movie. What happened?" So yeah, I'm happy. Beekeeper with his success, that David has some success. But before Beekeeper, I was like, dude, just because Suicide Squad got sabotaged, it wasn't his doing.
No, they re-edited the shit out of it.
Apparently his version got a standing ovation until they fucked it up. So I just feel like people have overlooked his movies. But Street Kings was another trailer, just really didn't do anything for me. It was really generic trailer. And then a buddy of mine, many years later, was like, "No, dude, Street Kings is legit." I'm like, "Really?" So I found it for really cheap to buy on Blu-ray, and I was like, "Dude, this movie's legit, bro. This is a legit, great action movie, cop thriller." Like, I was really surprised. What was your experience?
Nobody's clean in this movie except for Chris Evans' character, but even he can't stay clean. And I just watched it not too long ago, so it's pretty fresh in my head. But
nice,
it's just such a dark movie, and Keanu Reeves' character it's the second darkest character I can think of that he played, because the one in The Gift is pretty dark. The wife beating husband in the Sam Raimi movie, The Gift.
Right.
But when he goes dark, I love Keanu Reeves. Like, maybe the best version of Keanu Reeves is when he goes dark.
Yeah.
And that is not. I'm not talking about John Wick. I wish I was, but he still plays like the anti-hero in that. So he's still the ethical character that you're kind of following, and he is representing the audience in a way, so he can never go too dark. But in this movie, he's drunk before he leaves the house. He's got little bottles of vodka all day long. He's corrupt as fuck. It's obvious from the start. He's doing business his own way, not by the book at all as a cop. And you just sort of, it's, that show The Shield? You ever watch that?
Yeah. So
it's like that, like the Vic Mackey character, where you're like, okay, so this guy is a cop, and he does want to do good things as a cop, but he's also not a good dude. So it's sort of that moment, except this is a little bit more of a moral tale, where the character maybe does have a bit of an awakening, unlike the Vic Mackey character. But yeah, it's just Forrest Whitaker's a great villain. Hugh Laurie's a great villain in this. I like Chris Evans a lot, because he's very different in this movie for his, the way his career's gone, and even the comedic stuff he was doing around this time, like Scott Pilgrim. He just moves away from that, and it's just it's a really watchable crime movie.
You got Common too before their duel, and
I totally forgot. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot he's in that. Yeah, I
don't know why, I always thought Common's character would come back.
You never know. They're gonna make the fifth one now, so
because he like fucked him up on the subway, or what was that?
The subway, yeah, and he fucked him up for revenge.
Did he die though?
No, I think he's alive, because he said if you pull the knife out, you're dead if you leave it
in.
Let
Right.
the ambulance come, you'll live.
come
So
Yeah.
I personally think that would be a great touch for part 5, which they're now going to make, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's what they're Chad Stahelski said. I just read an article today where they're like, it's going to happen. We're just
John
going to use
Wick
the animated
5.
series.
He never dies. That's gonna
No,
be the
he's not dead.
tagline.
You know what though? They were smart to show the funeral the way they showed it and not show the corpse and all that stuff, because I
Yeah.
think that they knew the audience would be like, "Come on, really?"
Well, did you hear the test audiences? Was a disaster.
That he died.
They had an
Or that he-
original. They had
that
an
he
original
lived.
ending. I
That he
think it was
lived.
because he lived. I
Yeah.
don't remember if he lived or he died, but the test audience was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then they went back and changed it. So I wonder what the original ending was. But yeah, Street Kings, good stuff. Definitely check that out. And now, let's party. I know what you want to do. You want to stick a knife in me and you stab me in the eye and tear it and see what's in there. Oh man, so good.
Hey, Sully,
Fucking-
remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied.
Yeah, it's so good.
This movie,
the whole
what a
movie,
tagline.
one-liners.
Let's Party is the perfect way to describe this movie, because
Yes.
it's like, if you want to watch the dumbest, shittiest, best B movie of all time, this is probably it. And also, it's kind of like Cocaine the movie. You know, like you can just tell that the people who made this movie are like, and then what if there's 150 guys and he just fucking takes them all out, man? It doesn't matter. He's like under no cover whatsoever. He just kills like an army while standing in open grass, you know?
Yeah, if you
It's
take
like,
if you want to play a drinking game and take a shot after someone dies, you're not going to make it.
You can't make
You're
it
not gonna
through
make it.
1/4 of this movie, even despite the ice cream montage, which is definitely a creepy, weird date that he goes on with his daughter. The way that it's edited, it's like so cringy, but it just kind of adds to the movie, you know, like I don't know, like the Running Man, and like when Arnold was that specific era of Arnold, like pre T2.
He couldn't make a bad movie. He could not make a bad movie.
But this movie's so bad, but it's so good at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the best things about it, is it's just like I can't really think of a more off the wall movie than this. You know,
I mean, he's a superhero in a way. Like he could have been a comic book movie easy.
His name is John Matrix. He is obviously a superhero. You know,
But yeah,
like
the whole
thing. The Colonel showing up, you're the only guy that can take this job. You know, it's like exactly the fucking 80s formula. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh, it's so good. Oh man, it's so good.
I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it, because it's just one of those movies where it's just like chef's kiss.
Yes.
And as long as you don't watch it too often, it just repays in dividends every time.
Very interesting soundtrack.
Yeah, talk about a synth.
Synth
soundtrack. Oof.
But I forgot what you call those type of drums. But it had like a Caribbean, like.
Oh, it does have calypso drums. Maybe it does.
It was some kind of.
You're right. Oh, you're right. Oh my God, it does. It's kind of like the Miami Vice. They probably ripped it off from Miami Vice.
It's just interesting. You wouldn't think that would work, but it actually kind of works. But
it works. Yeah, it works.
Tons of big body count. You know,
and just also showing off his body in a way where it's just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? This is crazy. It's just clearly like glamour shots left and right, like slow speedo moments, grease paint, all this stuff, you know. Awesome.
And speaking, of course, you got to have the montages too, getting ready for battle.
Oh, of course.
But
what's an action movie without a montage?
Speaking of like the Raid and Dread and stuff like that, Rambo Part 2, bro. First Blood Part 2, Rambo, and this came out the same year.
Wow,
that's crazy, dude. That's
interesting,
insane.
Because I loved First Blood Part 2 far more when I was a kid, but now I without a doubt, this is my favorite. Between the two of them, I would choose this one every time.
Oh yeah,
and twice on Sunday.
Yeah. But yeah, this is an absolute classic. A classic. Now we've gone from Conan the Barbarian to Conan the Barbarian meets Shakespeare.
Totally.
That's
right.
Where we're at with the Northman.
And with an edge of heavy metal to it.
Now I have to talk about this. So when I saw the amazing trailer that you mentioned earlier, I was like, this is going to be the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life. I was so hyped. My expectations were like through the roof, because I enjoyed The Lighthouse and I liked what was the other one? The Witch. I enjoyed The Witch. I enjoyed that stuff. So I'm like, okay, here we go with the Northman. So I think if I didn't see the trailer, if I didn't get so hyped up beyond through the roof, and if I went straight to the theater, did I say the theater? The trailer I meant earlier. And if I just went straight to the theater and saw this blind, it would have completely blew me away. But unfortunately, I saw the trailer. My expectations were through the roof. They were too high, and I watched it at home. I think if it was a theatrical experience with that sound, because this soundtrack in this movie is amazing. The sound design is amazing. I would have been in the theater like, this is a fucking experience.
It's very atmospheric too.
Yeah, but I watched it at home.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of thinking that it was going to be an action movie.
Well,
so when because it's not really. It's not
balls to the walls, but it is.
No.
Let's talk about this for a second, all right? Let's talk about something.
Sure.
Because an action movie, like Street Kings, for instance, that's not necessarily full of action either, but it has some very intense action sequences in it. And this movie has Conan. I mean, it ends in a fucking sword fight for the ages. It was my opinion.
It was a great final duel.
I said,
I loved
the
it.
most heavy metal sword fight that exists in a movie, hands down. You can't beat it. You can't beat the location they chose.
A lot of naked on the, I enjoyed.
Like spoiler, but naked yelling on the side of a volcano is like the most heavy metal sword fight you're ever going to get anywhere. Nobody's ever. You can't top it. I don't think it's possible.
Well, this was my thought process at the time. Do you see the poster?
Yeah.
You see that guy in the poster in the middle?
Yeah.
I thought we were getting that guy
all the time.
But you only really get that guy for one really cool scene.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean by I was a little disappointed with it because I thought that who you advertised.
Yeah.
You didn't advertise that this was Hamlet. You advertised that dude is going to be fucking wrecking shop. So when I went to see it, I was like, oh, it was just that one scene. Amazing scene. One of the best scenes ever. That one take shot. Amazing scene. So I still really liked the movie and I gave it a B+. And a lot of people were angry with me with that.
As an action movie or as
a lot of people, as an overall movie, even though I had issues with it, because again, expectations too high, I thought it was going to be this kind of thing. I still enjoyed it enough to give it a B+. And a lot of people were like really disappointed, like I ruined their day. They were like, Samurai Guy, you should have gave this an A quadruple plus rating.
I see. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I gave it a fucking B+. What do you want? Especially when I went in and I was expecting something else, and I still gave it a B+. It's pretty impressive.
So then,
So then time went by. Maybe a year, 2 years went by, and I rewatched it again digitally. Now that I don't have the big, huge expectations and all that, I'm like, all right, I'm going to sit and absorb. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more watching it a second time.
Cool.
Yeah. I just now regret not seeing it in theater.
I regret not seeing it in the theater. So up until recently, I was using my Xbox to stream to a projector.
Yeah.
But my Xbox died, and it was this whole thing. Like I couldn't replace the projector situation fast enough, so I had to switch to a TV. So I was able to watch it like on a 100-inch screen, pretty good sound and stuff. So I was able to immerse myself in it pretty well. Yeah. But I wanted to talk about this element, and since you talk a lot about action movies on here, because this does play out in kung fu movies too, where there's like a lot of kung fu movies have what I like to call the classic slow middle. Where there's a great fight or two up front, and then you got like this 45-minute section where there's zero action before there's maybe a training montage and then the final fight or two. And like sometimes they're interminable and really deadly to the like flow of the movie. You're just like, I'm almost done with this shit and I'm gonna fast forward. In fact, I have. But there's an element that this movie has, which is this level of tension because it's a revenge story. And this thing where he's haunting the villain throughout the movie. And I feel like, yes, fights are action, but like him sneaking around and spying and setting up all these traps to freak people out and stuff and creating this like spiritual evil presence and stuff also sort of qualifies as action in a story. Like when it just comes down to writing a story that qualifies as action, so it was hard for me. It'd be hard for me to put this like in drama. You know what I mean? This is still an action movie. Like it still fits in that bracket better than it fits anywhere else, I think. So
Right.
I don't know. That's just where I stand on it.
No, that's a great take. Like I said, rewatching it again, I like it a lot more now.
And also, Bjork as the most terrifying witch you've ever seen in your life is like something to be seen, man. It's just to behold.
Yeah. But yeah, great pick, Northman, and oh man, stay alive.
No matter what occurs, I will find
you.
you. Yeah.
I haven't watched this in so long, but the last time I watched it, I remember really enjoying it.
This fucking movie is so good, man.
Yeah.
It's just a beautifully made movie, and it's full of incredible action, but it's not really about the action, but somehow action is all around this movie. You know, like the ambush, when the natives ambush the column of soldiers when they're stupidly walking through the perfect place to be ambushed. It's an incredible ambush sequence, and like the waterfall sequence at the end, and all the knife tomahawk fights and shit. It's just incredible stuff, man. Just captivating, eye-popping, adrenaline-pumping stuff.
I need to see if this is on 4K. I wonder. It might be.
It probably is. He retooled it. He retooled the cut a little bit recently, so it's got just a couple of extra little beats here and there in it, and I think there's a new edition out because of that.
Nice. But yeah, I remember really digging this one. I remember liking it. We're gonna have to speed run.
Yeah, let's do it.
Speed run your other picks here. All right, here we go. Monkey Man, I have not seen that yet. I may be. Well, I heard mixed things on it.
No,
so I may be reviewing this soon. So I will not pull a Northman with this one. I will go in with zero expectations.
Yeah,
and give Monkey Man a fair shot.
In that case, just know that it has my stamp of approval, and we can move on. And I'll also say one other thing. The trailer and the marketing make it look like it's trying to be John Wick, and it's not that at all.
Okay. Nice.
So just ignore any of those vibes, because it is more this. I think what you see here is this, I don't know. There's some passionate revenge aggression going on in this story, and it's really well directed. Nice.
All right. I'm looking forward to watching it even more now. Now, I got the poster right here, bro.
I saw that
poster. This is my default go-to. All right, you got the gun in my head. Favorite action movie of all time, go. This is my default.
I think I wrote it as number one, didn't I?
That's
what happened to me too. I was like, Predator, it's got to be number one.
Yeah, it's just so good.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says about this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's dated. Oh, I dig it, man.
It's not dated.
Machismo, but dudes all greased up. Yeah, shut the fuck up.
But that's everybody misses the point. If that's what they're seeing, I had this conversation recently.
Yeah.
If that's what you saw when you watched this movie, you completely missed the point.
Yes. You know? The point is that these are the buffest, beefiest, most badass dudes ever.
Yeah. Best
and
of
they're
the best.
fucking getting their asses kicked and running for their lives.
Yeah.
That's the fucking point.
It's a haunted
cigar
house.
Smoking. The greatest handshake of all time in movie history.
I love that. Pushing too many pencils. But it's a haunted house movie where they're the final girls, or like he's the final girl, I guess.
I like that. Yeah, I like
and
that.
It's like I don't know. To me, it's one of the perfect movies. That's all I'll say. Much has been said about this movie, but it's like, to me, you can't remove a frame, you can't add a frame.
Yes.
The script is tight, the performances rock, for its time, the special effects are off the chain. Like they still work, you know.
Dude, the practical effects of the Predator are still better than any other Predator movie we've had.
Yeah.
Since. Still, that design, that Stan Winston design of that head is still better than any other Predator movies the Predator's design. Still.
Although
that's why everybody's making fun of the new one.
Part. Yeah. I don't love that design, but the movie looks cool.
Yeah. So. Well, I mean, once I kind of figured out it was probably a young Predator, I was like, all right. We'll see where we're going with it. Critical's best action movie is Terminator 2.
That was hard not to put on there.
Now, Terminator 2 may have beat Predator for me, but I saw Predator first.
Yep, ditto.
If I saw Terminator 2 first, then Predator might be a second, maybe. But I saw Predator first, man. So that's the only reason why, you know. And I love horror and sci-fi. It's all that in one.
Yeah.
You know, so
Terminator 2 is the first rated R movie I saw in the theater.
Oh, I'm so fucking jealous right now.
That's a good one.
But yeah, is this Predator? Is this the first movie where Arnold was scared shitless?
It
He
might
played a
be.
character. You saw. I mean, it's really good acting, underrated
I
acting
mean,
performance for Arnold. He was like scared out of his mind, running away in fear. Because look, he plays
yeah,
characters like Commando, right? Like
hmm
John Matrix. He's invincible, right?
totally,
This
totally.
movie, dude, this is 1987, bro.
Yep.
And guess what else came out in 1987? Fucking RoboCop,
Oh well, yeah.
which is
So next
nuts.
on the list.
Yes. Bam.
Yeah. Well,
Can I segue or what there?
Yeah, you can.
But
almost like you set up these files.
But yeah,
Yeah. I
it's
mean, this
another classic. Still the best in
honestly,
the series. So good.
this movie might be one of the main elements of my DNA as a creator.
Ooh,
Like
okay.
a lot of what I write comes from this kind of perspective. Like we grew up in a corporate hellscape already, and like we're even seeing how far it can really go.
Yeah.
And I think that this movie was a little ahead of its time in calling that out. And I love how the way it calls it out, like the way that it uses commercialism and like the way it uses sarcasm and satire. It's just a brilliant movie, but it's also just just an insane action movie. Like it's got so much like just adrenaline and machismo, but not the annoying kind. And like, the power of RoboCop as a machine, like you can feel the weight, the way Peter Weller plays him with the perfect walk and stuff. It's just a really, really well crafted movie.
And there's heart.
A lot of heart.
Well, there's actual emotion, you know, and you have that amazing scene where he goes back to his house that's empty, and he's having flashbacks of him being in with his wife and hanging out with his kid, and he starts to freak out.
Yeah.
And you have that music by Basil. And again, the Conan the Barbarian composer.
It's basically the same score, honestly, but it's all right. So I'll take it all day.
Yeah, dude. RoboCop's the fucking shit, bro. It's so good. I think I missed one here. Hold on. We're in sci-fi territory now, everybody watching, so that's why we're doing sci-fi stuff here. Some of Craig's favorite sci-fi movies. We have The Arrival, or Arrival, excuse me.
Arrival, yeah, not to be confused with The Arrival, starring Charlie Sheen.
I haven't seen that. Was that? How was that? I was always curious about that.
It's okay.
It's all right.
It's directed by the guy, written and directed by the guy who made Pitch Black, and it's like the franchise that he created before the Riddick franchise. And it's not terrible, but it's not great either. So the first one's pretty watchable, though.
Okay.
Yeah, the first one's watchable. I like the first one, but it's I don't know. There's like 4 of them or something.
You're talking about the Riddick franchise now?
Talking about Arrival. So
wait, there's more Arrival movies?
Yeah, there's at least 3, I think.
Oh my god,
maybe 4, but they're increasingly lower budgets. Like maybe even the 4th one was a Sci-Fi Channel original or something. So
this movie here really felt like, oh hey, do you remember when sci-fi was serious?
Yeah.
Do you remember that feeling of awe, of curiosity, of amazement? Like, what is out there? Holy shit, they're here. How do we communicate with these things? Are they going to kill us? Are they going to attack us? What do we do? I mean, you don't really get a lot of movies like this now in terms of like pure sci-fi. Which we'll get to some other 2 later.
Do you know what Rendezvous with Rama is?
No, what is that?
That's the movie that Denis Villeneuve is directing next.
Okay.
And it's based on a story by Arthur C. Clarke, who wrote 2001. And it is the epitome of cosmic loneliness. Like, think about how you feel when you see like ancient Greek ruins or ancient ruins from anywhere that you might feel a connection to. I don't want to pick a culture for you, but like anywhere that you look and you're like, even for me, like ancient China, I think about it. I'm like, oh man, it must have been so fucking cool. It seems so advanced for that time on planet Earth. And there's like this sense of longing because you're never gonna fucking touch it. No matter how many movies you watch, no matter how much you study it, no matter how many books you read, it doesn't matter. You're never gonna be there unless they build a time machine, obviously. Right. And so Rendezvous with Rama is the space version of that, where just like Oumuamua, that interstellar object that came through our solar system a few years ago, an object comes through the solar system and we're able to track it and we're able to visit it. So it's all about this team visiting this thing as it's plowing through the solar system super fast, and they're basically able to board it for like a day and check it out and then leave. And the whole thing is like this hibernating, semi-sentient hub for some civilization that's not there now. Like it's either going to meet this civilization or coming from this civilization, but it's not clear. But the whole thing is like just all these wondrous things are discovered in this fucking thing. And like the humans that are in it are just like, what fucking civilization must this have been? They created this. Like the literal jaw-dropping sense of awe in this story is off the chain. And it's one of the most beautiful sci-fi books I've ever read. So the reason I brought that up is that Arrival, the reason it's on this list is because just like you introduced it, honestly, it's like, do you remember when sci-fi was like this? And you speak of it in hushed tones because it changed the way you saw things. And like, that's how Arrival is, where it just has some really unique stuff in it. And it is very heartfelt and very deep. Like you have got to pay attention. You have to think along with it. And you might even need to know some shit or watch it a couple times if you don't, because it's a complex movie, but it's also not too smart. It's not like Tenet, which is maybe a little too smart for its own good, which is why I couldn't put it on this list, even though I actually love that movie. But it's like,
I still haven't come back and finished it yet.
It blows up your brain because you're like, I don't understand if I understand or not, So, but it is. I just rewatched it because I needed to know, and it's
have you seen
an awesome movie,
Megalopolis or Megaplopolis? I can't find
it. Do you know they pulled it?
They pulled it. Yeah,
they pulled the shit out of that movie. I had like 2 weeks to try it, and I'm like, well, I waited for the price to drop on the rental, and then they just pulled it.
It's one of the most baffling, but my wife wanted to see it. Just out of curiosity, was it for her birthday?
I wish she likes to watch for that.
Oh, no, we just rented it at home. But
I know, but I wish I did because that was my chance,
Yeah, it's one of the most absolutely. Oh no, it's not a good movie, but it's so fascinatingly bad.
Yeah, really.
You just can't stop watching because it's so like, what are you doing?
Like, and he's like smashing all these film techniques together to make something that's just a mess, right?
No, it's crazy, but Arrival, good pick.
Sorry, this is a funny segue. But Arrival's pretty good.
I can't go into Megaplopolis. I can't, otherwise I'll be talking forever. But Interstellar, another really good sci-fi flick. I actually bought this on 4K. I enjoyed it that much. Great soundtrack. Really underrated score.
Incredible score.
Underrated. It's Hans Zimmer, right?
Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL maybe or something. I think it's not. Oh, maybe it's just Hans Zimmer. They pair up a lot. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I don't know. For some reason I thought it was. Yeah, I think it is just that one.
Okay.
But
underrated. Hans Zimmer.
This movie is our 2001, I think, and it's really an underrated movie. But it's so scientifically tight. I mean, it gets reviews all the time by physicists. Like I just saw a headline for one like 2 days ago. Scientists call Interstellar most accurate science fiction movie ever made.
Shit.
Yes. Wow. Granted, the wormhole thing doesn't necessarily make sense. Like there's a lot of things that are like paradoxes. There's time travel elements in this movie that don't make sense necessarily, but they're all based on scientific theory as we know it. And like, people give Nolan shit for not being emotional. Like his movies, people call him cold all the time. Like, there's nothing emotional about it. But this is like the most emotionally overwrought movie not overwrought, but wrought. We'll say it's wrought.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of emotion in this movie. There's a lot of inner turmoil between characters and a lot of, emotional goals for characters in this movie. So that stuff really propels it all.
Very odd performance by Matt Damon, though. That was a little
weird. I know, right? Where he shows up as this fucking really just kind of head case, I guess, Yeah.
But I mean, it fit the characters. Characters like
it does, and I like that cameo for him because it to me, I've never been a big fan of Matt Damon, the movie star. I'm a big fan of Matt Damon, the actor. Because he's really good when he plays a character.
I like that.
Courage Under Fire. He's amazing in that movie, dude.
Yeah. I love the robot in this movie.
The robot weird in this movie.
Was cool, man. Yeah.
Interesting, unique take.
Yeah, the visuals are great and just good shit. I can't wait to watch it in 4K now.
And concepts like the black hole aging one crew member and not the other two crew members is really fascinating. There's things in this movie that cook your brain a little bit that are really fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching it. But speaking of 4K, sometimes 4K makes the movies look absolutely gorgeous to the point where they look brand new.
Mhm.
Like if you watch Jaws in 4K, it looks like a brand new movie. It's nuts.
I know, right?
But sometimes it will enhance the bad visuals in movies and make the green screen stand out. You're like, sometimes that happens too. But when you mentioned 2001 Space Odyssey a while ago, we watched that in 4K and I couldn't believe how great the visuals looked for a movie that old, bro. I was stunned. I was watching these visuals and I was like, this is better than some shit today, bro.
Oh, by far. I mean,
and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how good it was.
And you get a whiff of a lot of movies now of just such digital manipulation, even for talking scenes. You're like, this just feels glossy and digital. Right. And then you watch 2001 and it's just so grounded and everything feels real, even though you can kind of get the sense that maybe something is on a string here and there, but it's like, doesn't matter, man. It works so well.
But even in 4K, it didn't date anything. It enhanced it. It looked even better.
That movie's crazy. They're talking on iPads before iPads were ever invented. iPads with tablets. It's cool. Love that movie. Saw that in the theater
we got a little bit of horror in here now. Night of the Comet. What a fun movie, man!
This is such a fun movie, man.
Cult classic right here. I would love to interview the actresses. I would love to interview her.
Mary Catherine Stewart.
I had a crush on her when I was young, and
everybody did, man.
I still have a crush. But
was it
Last Starfighter?
It was this and Last Starfighter,
yeah,
those two movies, right? Just that's it.
Yeah.
And every young boy's dream at that point, and girls too, I'm sure.
Yeah, but Night of the Comet is such an odd and ridiculously fun and enjoyable, bizarre movie.
Yeah, the tone is great.
A little bit of horror. The tone is great. The two leads, the two lead females are so much fun.
What's weird
watch
is the people getting turned to red dust and being caught inside, because they're fooling around in the projection booth of a movie theater, which is why they are the only survivors of this comet passing and turning people to either dust or these zombie rage monsters. But the dust thing freaked me out so much as a kid that I didn't realize what the tone was like until I went back and watched it in my 40s. And I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest fucking B horror sci-fi from the 80s. It's so fun, man. So many great cuts and great laughs and stuff. It's just really fantastic.
You have this movie. Mall montage where they're trying on outfits, and you go from that to them just spraying Uzi gunfire at the bad guys.
And also
great.
They shot it in downtown LA somehow, and it's a ghost town. I don't know how they did it. When you watch it, you're like, they're standing in the middle of a freeway overpass in downtown LA. How did they get this location? Wow. And it's because it's a very low budget movie. So I have no idea. Either maybe they found something that was under construction at the time. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I've done zero research. But all I know is I bought this on Blu-ray recently because it kept disappearing off of Shudder and stuff. And I was like, no, this movie has to be in my life.
Yeah. Great pick, bro. Great pick.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Egg says, got to see 2001 in 70 millimeter on one of the best movie theater presentations ever. Wow.
Me too.
How cool. Me
too, man. First time I ever saw it was in 70 at the Crest Theater in Sacramento.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh, my God.
Stuff.
Rick Myers and Frank Jang were talking about, I think we were talking about their favorite sci-fi movies ever. And on the show. And Frank Jang actually likes the 2001 sequel.
Yeah, I like the movie a lot too.
He likes it, right? Yeah. And then Rick goes, when he saw 2001 Space Odyssey, he loved it, right? And he said he went to the bathroom and he says there was some two dumb guys in there who were like, I didn't understand the ending to the first, I didn't understand the ending. What the hell is this movie? This movie sucks. And then Rick goes, the sequel is for the idiots that didn't understand the ending to the first movie.
That sounds like Rick. Yeah.
Stop laughing, dude.
That's perfect. It's true though. They do. They explain everything in the second
Oh
movie.
my
It's perfect,
God.
except for the very ending part. They don't really
Okay.
like
Okay. Oh my
because
God,
Kubrick
dude. I
didn't.
was just
Kubrick and
laughing
Arthur
my
C.
ass
Clarke
off.
didn't want people to know. They wanted that to be a little bit open to
Yeah.
interpretation. So,
Yeah. Up to
um,
your interpretation. But yeah,
that's
that just
fucking
made me
beautiful,
laugh.
Rick. Oh my God, Seafood Myers, you're the fucking best.
When was he on your show? When was he on your show?
This is probably like late pandemic, like 2021,
Do you
maybe
still have your
2022.
podcast?
No, I just got
Okay.
sick of it because it was a huge distraction from making comics. I just
Gotcha.
wasn't really, putting the pedal to the metal the way I wanted to.
Right. Yeah, it can be taxing for sure.
Yeah, it's a lot
All
of
right.
work.
Altered States. Now, don't kill me.
You hate
Don't
this
kill
movie?
me.
Haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it. It's been on my
That's all
list to
right.
watch it for a long time.
This
So,
movie's ancient. It's okay to not have seen this.
but
But
I've always
it's a
been
pure
curious
sci-fi
about it.
movie, dude. Since you haven't seen it, I don't need to get too deep on it, but I'll just say
Ken
that
Russell did this. What?
Ken Russell, so it's a bizarre ass movie.
What?
It plays in the same territory as my astral projection time travel story, where it's like, what can the mind actually accomplish in reality? And not to say that it influenced me in that way. I mean, maybe it did. I'm not sure. But it's a very pure sci-fi experience in that sense. Like once you sign up for the ride, if you're on board with the movie and you follow this character and William Hurt's bizarre acting, because he's always such a bizarre guy, honestly. But like 8 times out of 10, his acting is amazing. It's just every once in a while you're like, this performance doesn't fit this movie. What are you doing?
Did you expect him to be the main villain in History of Violence? I did not.
I did not at all.
Like,
I love him in that movie. I love him in that movie. That's one of those weird performances where it's like so weird that it works.
Yeah.
It pays off in spades.
Yeah.
And this movie is so fucking weird, and weird shit happens, and it's like, I don't know, you're kind of at the mercy of his experience, and you're almost witnessing it half from his perspective and the perspective of the people watching his meltdown thing happen. I don't know. You haven't seen it, so I'm really trying to be vague.
Okay.
But things do become altered, and not just his consciousness. Like his physical form changes. It's almost a Cronenbergian body horror, but not. It's not quite that. It's different.
Okay.
So that's all I'm gonna say. It's a fascinating sci-fi movie.
Nice.
Very watchable.
And is it in 80s or 90s?
Or like 82, maybe. Really early.
Oh shit! So would you consider this an 80s classic?
I would definitely consider this an 80s classic.
Nice.
1980.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, this one right here, District 9. Oh man.
Yeah.
I got a funny story. So me and my wife were like, hey, let's go to the drive-in. They got a double feature. Oh, what's playing over there? Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and District 9. And I was like, did you see the trailer for District 9? She's like, yeah, I don't know what that was really all about. I don't know, some Transformers. I don't know what that was. And we were like, we just went because we wanted to get out of the house and go to the drive-in. And do drive-ins still exist? I don't know. They might exist some places. But go to the drive-in if you guys have one in your area. It's fun. But we went and absolutely hated Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Yeah.
Hated. And I was like, this is fucking terrible. And now it's funny that I mention it because now that movie has cult following now. Now people really like Halloween 2 now, which is kind of funny. Same thing will happen to Halloween Ends. Halloween Ends, they'll have a cult following. But I haven't watched Halloween 2 in a long time, but I'm pretty sure if I rewatch it, I'm going to feel the same about it. But
you will.
So that was such a miserable, horrible, disappointing experience that ruined our night. We didn't even want to watch District 9 after that. We were like, dude, what the fuck was that piece of shit, right? Then we sat there, we're like, well, we paid for it. We might as well, stay here and watch the next movie. Thank God that Halloween 2 was first. Because District 9 absolutely blew us away.
Yep.
We didn't know it was going to have heart. We didn't know the visuals were going to be that good for such a low budget movie. The action was great. It had some R-rated gore. The story was good. The acting was great from the lead. The soundtrack was good. We had no idea how good that movie was going to be. And you can imagine, what if District 9 was first? And then we watched Halloween 2 last. We'd have been driving home pissed, dude.
You also hate District 9. You'd be like,
I know, right?
both those movies sucked.
But yeah, I had to tell that story. But
District 9,
District 9 saved the evening.
Yeah, it did. It almost saved sci-fi a little bit too. It's weird that this guy hasn't made that many movies. I'm so glad he made Gran Turismo really recently, because I loved that movie as well. But
yeah, I've been waiting to watch that. I heard that was good. I heard it's like one of the best video game movies ever.
It's the best.
Oh shit! Look at that.
It's unbeatable. I don't know how you could beat it, because every other one is a slave to what the game story is, whereas Gran Turismo is based on a true story about these real kids who got recruited by being good at the game. Yeah. So they're able to smash everything together. They're able to adapt the game exactly visually in the driving sequences, which is fucking amazing. Like this guy, as you know, you just noted it, the special effects on a low budget in District 9 are incredible. Yeah. So now imagine him with a huge budget and Sony behind him, like Sony money.
What did you think of Elysium?
I really like Elysium too. It took me a long time to warm up to it. It's because it seemed simplistic at first. Yeah. But the thing is, that message is more important than ever. And I think he wanted the message to be simplistic on purpose, because he's like, I really want rich versus poor and haves and have-nots to be such a clear theme in this story. Right. That I'm not going to step on it in any way, you know? But I also like Chappie, so I don't know. Who do I know? What do I know?
Chappie's
was bonkers.
It is bonkers. But I love, speaking of like underrated movies and characters in movies, Sharlto Copley's villain, what was his name? Kruger? In Elysium is so badass, and no one talks about it.
That guy in real life
like a cyber samurai.
Yeah, and the guy in real life is like this kind of intellectual wild man. He's a beanpole. He weighs nothing, and he put on like 50 pounds of muscle to play that character, and he's terrifying. Dude, you know, like he's so crazy in that movie, and it's so weird that he never played another character like that. He completely lost all the weight, lost all the muscle, and now he's just a weirdo again, which is perfect. By the way, he's in Monkey Man. I forgot to mention that.
Wow, so he's in Monkey Man and Boy Kills World. Wow.
Oh yeah, he is in Boy Kills World. Yeah, which was fun. That was a fun movie.
All right, District 9 is great. Anything else on District 9?
No, I know we're trying to speed round, so yeah, let's do two more.
Two more left. All right. A franchise that, believe it or not, me being an 80s kid, I've never seen the original. It's been on my list to watch the original, just out of curiosity. But it's just one of those, I never got around to it. I know it's more traditional sci-fi. I know there was a lot of issues behind the scenes, and it's kind of a mess. But the original Dune has its fans. Frank Jane's still a big fan of the original Dune. So Dune, the first one was really my introduction to this world. And I thought that I was going to be bored. I thought I was going to be lost. There are going to be too many fucking characters. I was just going to be like, I don't know what's going on. I don't care what's happening. And I was really surprised how much I liked the first Dune. Yeah. I was really surprised because I knew it was going to be a slow burn. You know, I knew it was going to be a slow burn sci-fi movie. So I didn't go into Dune expecting tons and tons and tons of action. You know what I mean? So I liked it a lot more than I thought I liked it. And then Dune Part 2, I loved the hell out of that movie too. I was really surprised. I have both of these movies on 4K. Really surprised. Yeah, really surprised.
Yeah, I just rewatched these because I had only seen the second one once, and so about a month ago, I just sat down and gave myself the 4 or 5 hours or whatever it is, and it's a very satisfying couple of movies. And I am a fan of the Lynch movie because I like the book and I like the Lynch movie and grew up with it. I'm being visited by a cat right now.
It's all good.
Maybe. Anyway, sorry but I'm jerking around like because something's creeping up on me. But yeah, I think it's really strong. I think Villeneuve has such a strong sci-fi vision, and it weirdly, even though I think his films feel of a piece, you can feel his style. I think his movies are all really different, and I think it's a really powerful duo of movies. And the second one's a pretty solid action movie. There's some really cool that sequence where they take out that crawler thing
Yeah.
And it's all tactical, and they're hiding behind the leg as the whatever the Thopter is trying to take them out. It's a really cool sequence.
And I think Ron was it Ron Yuan or Roger Yuan did the fight choreography?
Roger.
Yeah, Roger did the fight choreography, so the fight choreography was good. And
yeah, they gave him a nice scene in the
Timothy showed a lot better acting prowess in this one.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
And everyone, the character arc, it actually went somewhere. We weren't meandering. You know,
well,
shit happened. People got fucked up.
This is what the Lynch movie misses, I think, is the stakes play out and there are repercussions to things, and like Paul embracing his destiny is a very dark thing, not a heroic thing. And like the Kyle MacLachlan version of Paul Atreides, it kind of comes out head held high at the end of that movie. And the end of Dune 2, you're like, oh shit. Like, you see Timothée Chalamet's character with a shadow across his face, and you're like, everybody in his path is fucked. Yeah. And I think that's like such a bold choice for such a big budget sci-fi movie to actually stick with that. I mean,
stick with the source material? What?
Well, but I mean,
what wizardry is this? What is this?
Exactly. I mean, what wizardry got it through the fucking censors at the studio? Tell me, please.
I know, right?
Other movies deserve to know what it is, because oh my god, it's just the vision. He's got a strength of vision, and the other thing about the Dune movies that's really interesting. There's so little interesting stories in movies sometimes these days. And one of the ones I like about this is that they sequestered themselves in the desert, and they were so deep in the desert that production people couldn't fucking visit them. It's the best. So he's like, fuck with my movie. I dare you.
Wow. Wow. That's awesome.
It's so good. Yeah.
I have a feeling though, once I get around to watching the Lynch one, I have a feeling, because I'm an 80s kid, I'm going to get kicked out of it. I think I'll have fun.
It's got some great stuff in it. The soundtrack's great. The costumes are amazing. Practical effects. It's got some really cool stuff in it.
Yeah. Nice. And we have one more for the road before we wrap it up.
Close it out.
Boom.
That's right. Well, there can be only one after all.
That's right. Another movie like The Matrix, like John Wick, where this was a one and done idea.
Right. And then, we got to figure out how to continue the franchise. Whoops. Yeah.
They're aliens. They're not immortals. They're aliens from the planet Zeist.
Zeist. Oh,
Jesus.
If you should ever need me, call my name. Yeah, no. But the second one, actually,
it's a guilty pleasure. Highlander 2 is a guilty pleasure.
I love the second one, actually. It's crazy because it's such it's a batshit movie.
Yeah.
And when he shows up, Sean Connery showing up in the middle of the Scottish play is such a beautiful, again, chef's kiss. There's some great stuff in this franchise. I love that you chose the alternate German poster, by the way. Speaking of alternate posters. Yeah, this movie's crazy because this is a super flawed movie in my opinion, but I love it.
Oh, it's just so much fun.
It's such an MTV generation sci-fi masterpiece,
Oh yeah. And dude, again, one of the greatest movie villains of all time is Kurgan. God. Kurgan.
Clancy Brown, dude. He's way up there. He's up there with Keith David and James Hong, because he'll pop up in something and make the thing 50 times better just by having 10 minutes in the movie, Yeah. So he's so good as Kurgan. I got something to say. It's better to burn out than to fade away.
Yeah, man.
And the the Queen soundtrack is so good. Yeah, man. There's some amazing songs on the soundtrack. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just
I've been wanting that Kurgan sword forever, but I can't. I keep coming across bootlegs, something's not right or something.
I never knew. It's hard to find. What to make of that sword as a kid, because it's such a sci-fi sword. But if you think about it, maybe Kurgan knew they were from Zeist. I don't know. Anyway, I just came up with that just now. But it's an interesting theory. But this, okay. So you remember when there was not very much sci-fi, unlike now when there's too much of everything. Yeah. So this was one of those movies where even though it's flawed, if I saw this now, I'd be like, that was all right. It's got some good ideas in it. But what the fuck? This movie's crazy. It's got some really just stupid moments too. But when there's so little sci-fi like there was back then, you see this movie and you're like, oh my God, the imagination level of this movie is off the chain.
There's no other movie like this movie.
No, even still, this. I don't know why this director doesn't direct more still. He's not, still makes something occasionally, but Russell McKay is a weirdo.
Concept of the immortals, and they can sense each other, It's this, and then they fight They're forced to play this game. They fight. They take each other's power, and then you win the prize at the end. What was the prize? It doesn't matter.
We don't know. It kind of changes from season to season of the show, and from movie to movie. You're not sure.
You think he can have kids now, or wait, no, that's not it. No, he's mortal now. Wait, hold on.
He can adopt kids in the third movie, though.
That's what it was. He adopted.
By the way, I love the third one. The third one's pretty cool. Like just sort of like samurai movie with Wesley, with Mario Van Peebles as that's just insane.
Still not on Blu-ray, bro. It's still not on Blu-ray. It's weird.
You can at least rent it on digital, though. I have it on my Fandango account.
The director's cut, right? The R-rated version.
No.
Oh God,
I've never seen that cut. That'd be cool, actually.
That's what I have on DVD with all the decapitations in it and everything.
You know what though? Henry Cavill Highlander is on the way from Chad Stahelski. So all the old Highlander stuff.
I would be surprised if that sucked.
Me too.
I would be.
There's no way it's going to suck. I mean, maybe it won't be the best movie ever, but the combat's going to be incredible. So
yeah. But yeah, this is great. Great soundtrack. Great fun visuals. And the end finale duel is legit, though. The end finale fight duel, where they fight on the rooftop. They take down the neon sign.
The Silver Cup sign, yeah.
Then they fight. They fall through the building, and then they fight there, and it's all dark and silver. I mean, dude.
I remember when I was in New York City, and I drove by Silver Cup, and I was like, hey!
Yeah. But yeah, man, great picks, wonderful picks. This guy knows his shit when it comes to movies and comics. That's right. And hey, man, this was a blast. This went to 3 hours.
A blast, man. I know, man.
But this is what happens when you're talking movies, bro. This is what happens on the channel.
Go Epic or go home.
We keep going.
Yeah. Well, to be continued on another one. We'll try not to do 3 hours next time.
This is your second home now. Yeah, we're gonna go for 5. Yeah. But yeah, this is your home, second home, and you're always welcome to come back. And maybe when you come back, I like to do that fight reaction with you from Buddhist Fist. We'll figure that out. But when you come back, maybe we can do a top 10 or 20 comic book movies list.
Oh yeah,
because I'm sure you have a lot to say. And let's make it better and more fun. And let's add stuff outside of Marvel and DC as well.
Oh. I probably wouldn't pick any Marvel or DC.
Shit!
That list, so.
Look at that. We're gonna have 2 fun lists.
I put The Shadow with Alec Baldwin on my list before almost any Marvel and DC that I can think of. So except maybe James Gunn. I'll give James Gunn a shot. Maybe we'll see.
At that.
To be continued in the future.
Shout out to The Shadow. Look at that. I enjoy The Shadow. But yeah, man, thanks again for being here. Don't go anywhere. Dude. All you guys watching, hey, click on those links below. Follow my man Kraig on the socials. Check out his amazing work. Buy all those graphic novels. Get those prints. Come on, that awesome Spawn print. No one's bought that yet. Y'all need to go purchase that. That's right. And thank you, Egg Shin, and everybody for watching. If you enjoyed yourself, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The old samurai guy, right? Follow the Movie Dojo podcast right here on YouTube and on Spotify. And got some good stuff coming up next week. And stay tuned. And see you on the next one. Keep watching movies. Don't go anywhere, Kraig. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.
Thank you.